shy. I freaked him out. Sorry, Craig. I came on too strong, and that's always been a problem of mine. Ask any of the women I've dated. But yes. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that eventually ends, but then it starts again. This is the 7th annual. 7 years we managed to do this through pandemics, through we didn't have any work stoppages in that time period, I don't think. So I don't think there were at least not NFL work stoppages, but we don't have to worry about that. But we're going to pick up with, there he is, so British, so handsome, Craig Strahan. And you guys pronounce it Strahan?
Strachan.
Oh, God, I would never have gotten that. So you just decided to be different with your family?
I mean, why not, eh? Much better to be different than just follow the same old trends, right?
I have known you for over a decade, and I've never gotten your name right. You know that, right?
I know. Some things never change, Bill. Some things never change.
You are so polite. I guess that's the British thing again. You never once said, he's butchering my name again.
I mean, I didn't. I look up to you, Bill. How are you anyway, my friend?
This is great. Bloody colonials murdering our names. But yes, this is what I live for, as you know. It's an obsession. I won't even pretend otherwise. I'm going to introduce you to the other gentlemen who are, because you're so handsome, have gotten afraid and turned off their cameras. Up to what would be my right, I guess, on the screen at least, is the man we call the hater, Chris Disney, of Clan Disney. And then say hello, hater. Unmute yourself at least for a little while.
Hey, how's it going?
There you go. And then beneath him, you'll have Jaron Livingood, who, I'll be honest, I'm thinking about starting an agency, a sports agency to represent Jared, because he's incredibly large and shockingly athletic. What he's doing hanging out with a bunch of stiffs like us, I'll never know, but he's an actual athlete. Say hello, Jared.
Hello, what's up?
Hey.
We'll be joined at some point by other guys who will straggle in late because that's the very nature of this beast. But nonetheless, the clock doesn't change, so if they don't come back in time, I'm sticking them with a board pick, and they can just hate me later. So, yes, that's the power of being commissioned. So we will start with the first pick. That seems like a good idea. Why not begin at the beginning? And the clock is 2 minutes, so that means that 1 minute, 35 seconds, and 1 minute, 35 minutes and 18 seconds, a pick we made one way or the other. And the Jaguars GM is not rejoined us yet. Oh, well. They'll get their chance or not. We'll see what happens. Either way, there'll be a pick. Oh, wait. Hold on. More people are joining us. Hello, Sean.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Just fine. So, Sean, if you're looking at the screen, directly to your, I don't know if it's reversed. It'll be your left or your right, depending on if you see it reversed or whatever. But that's Craig Strahan, who I've known for about 12 years.
Something like that, yeah.
And I found out today how to correctly pronounce his name because he's so polite and British that he's never corrected me for these many years until on air today, where the whole world can find out that a friend of a dozen years is a man whose name I don't know. And then the hater, Jaron, and then at some point, hopefully everyone else will join us because partially it's on me. I think I sent out maybe the wrong link, but it's fixed now. And then maybe some of them are just moving late anyway, so I won't take credit for them. But the Jaguars are on the clock, and they have about 1 minute and 11 seconds before a board pick is made if they do not rejoin us. They will simply have to be mad at me, which I can live with. But while we're here, and since I have a special guest from a very long way away, I want Craig to tell us a little bit about his website.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, so I mean, Bill, you remember what we used to do back in the day with Consensus Draft Services, right? It's essentially a British version of that is how I'd best describe it. It's ukdraft.co.uk, but it's designed to have all that same sort of stuff. So I've got mock drafts up there, top 100 big boards, positional rankings, up to kind of 30 guys at some of the main positions, so corner, edge rushers, wide receivers, those sorts of things. Just designed to be a bit of fun. It was just something to do during lockdown, keep me busy and entertained, keep me out of trouble. You know the drill.
I would be more than happy, like I said, to maybe contribute at some point. Maybe if you ever want to do a look ahead to small school prospects that might be in the 2022 draft, I've already begun working on it. I just didn't know where it was going to appear, and now maybe I know.
And now we know. It's done deal.
Excellent. So what you might want to call like your little sub, like your little tagline, whatever the main title of the site is, and then parentheses CDS, but classier. And so,
and with the British accent,
right? Well, that's the part where the classiness comes from, Craig. That's the whole point. Oh, okay. They're getting a pick. They'll just have to be mad at me. I'm going to give them. Who am I going to give them? Hold on. They are about to receive. Let's see. No, there's a player rated above him. I won't be mean. Well, not meaner than I have to. Okay. They're about to get. Wait, did somebody get shot? Let me double check. Before I do this, I need to check the board. I keep thinking he should be gone, but I say that a lot, and then they're still there. So let me confirm. Oh, okay. Nope, he was taken. I thought he was. Okay, that explains it. So I will not give them him because he's not there to be given. So the next highest rated player after that player who I was about to give to him is. Okay, they're about to get Naquan Jones, defensive tackle from Michigan State. So that's the first pick in round number 6, which is pick number 185. Is that correct? Oh, wait a second. Am I looking at the right thing? Probably not. Or am I? Oh, that's right. Scratch that. I do have actually have a board for that team. Never mind. Ignore me. So actually they're picking at the top of that round. So, and I think we now have an almost full-ish house. That should be, who should that be? Hader, Aaron. Wait, I could have sworn I just heard someone else. Oh, that was, okay, wait, Sean, Hader. Okay, I thought I heard someone else. Never mind. Ignore me while I make this board pick, which will not be who I thought it would be. Oh, no. Actually, they could be the board, so I can just look at what they texted me. Which is... Oh, it's Mark Chisholm. Oh, my gosh. Well, where is he? I don't see you, Mark. You said you're here. Huh. Let me just give me a second. Make sure I'm not going crazy. Oh, he has. Yeah, he still has yesterday's. No, it's my fault. Okay. Can somebody go on Twitter and you can't text, DM to does anyone here know Mark? Wait, maybe not. I'll have to get you his Twitter handle because I think no one here actually knows Mark.
Yeah, just put it in my DM and then I'll DM him.
That's what I'm about to do. Thank you, sir. You are, no matter what people say about you, Chris, you're actually a wonderful person.
I'm a great one.
You really are. I mean, I don't know why all these terrible things are said about you in these bathrooms. Let's see.
Well, it's good to live inside people's heads.
Yes. Nestled there like a little marmot. Let's see. So, Mark, your handle is.
Hi.
Be Mark the Shark Tampa, if memory serves me correctly. I'd see if at least if I know the name of one of my friends. Shark, and then Tampa, I believe. Okay. See, how does he spell it? Does he spell it with a? There's a space or something. Okay, hold on. I can do this. Once again, a person I've known for many years. This is terribly embarrassing. But he changed it. He's one of those people that changes his every now and again, then changes it back, and it's
Yeah, Sean.
pick one handle and stick with it. Let's see.
Yes, that's me too. I changed.
Which is fine until people try to look you up. It's like,
Yes.
this is fine enough. Where is he now? Where'd he go? Because at one point it was like initials or something, right? And then you changed it, and then let's see. Okay. Oh well, I'll find it somewhere. Let me go ahead and make the pick, and then I'll try to find Mark after. So I'll be the one slowing down this thing, and then the lady complaining, "Why is it taking so long?" That would be exactly the kind of thing I would do. But I will instead remember the thing I'm actually tasked with doing primarily. I'm letting him know that he'll be getting a new link momentarily. Sorry, Mark, but I do actually need to keep this draft that already started half an hour late from taking forever. What's the thing I'm looking for? Oh, right. I'm looking for his board, which is how far back? Oh, here. Okay. The highest rated. Oh, okay. The highest rated player on their board is. Can someone, while I'm looking at this, check to see if Drake Jackson is still available on the on our picks?
No, he's gone.
Okay, he is gone.
Yes, he's.
Marco Wilson, still available, right? I think he's still available. I think Marco Wilson. Oh, hold on. I think someone else joined us. That sounds like someone else joined us. But if Marco Wilson's still available, that's the. Let me see. Nope, that's you. Oh, Jaron popped off. That's what that was. But Marco Wilson appears to still be. Let me double check that before I make the selection. But I think Marco Wilson's actually still there. Yeah. Okay. So cornerback. Oh, and Andy's on the sheet. So Andy's somewhere. Can somebody just make double sure that Andy actually has the actual for real link? I think he does. Hopefully, if not, someone get it to him. And I will be Marco. Another guy where it's like, am I crazy or is everyone else crazy? I really feel like he's a better player than a couple of corners that people have ranked ahead of him. That puts the Jets are Andy. So hopefully Andy will join us. Yeah. So if for some reason Andy doesn't have the current link, please get it to him. While I try to do the same thing for Mark, who I somehow failed apparently to get the updated link to. So I can do that while people try to locate Andy.
All right, I got it to him.
Once again, well done, hater. We should change your name to liker. You're not a hater. You're a liker.
So
Mark Chisholm. Now I need to figure out how to get it from there to there. Copy it, and then text it to me, and then forward it. Never mind me. I'm just talking to myself. It's always a good sign. Okay, so Mark should have it too now. Everyone who wants it pretty much at this point should have it, hopefully. If anyone else is still missing it, let me know. So we should be hopefully hearing from Andy. Anyone got eyes on, ears on, fingers, something on Andy? Okay, let Andy.
He hasn't said anything yet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say let Andy know he's about to get a board pick, which I know would infuriate him. So I would prefer not to infuriate him. Because he probably has some very intricate strategy for this pick that he's been planning for months. And he seems like a guy who structures his day, his week, his month, his year. And I wouldn't want him to end up with some haphazard pick off of a board. That would probably ruin, the rest of, if not 2021, at least the rest of, what's left of April. So I don't want to do that. But do let him know that we need to move expeditiously.
I did it.
Okay. Unmute yourself for just a moment, Craig, so you can tell people also how to follow you and the actual URL of your website, because I want, some of these guys may end up, liking you, not just as a person, but as a website. And you may even get some work out of these people who actually, some of them are really, really great people who actually really, really love football. So give them the actual URL of the website and how to follow you on Twitter.
Okay, sure thing. So it's ukdraft.co.uk. So really, really simple. And I'm on Twitter, UK_draft. So UK draft was taken on Twitter, annoyingly, when I tried to find it. By someone who literally has like one follower and one tweet ever. Like, how dare you? How dare you?
Oh. So all they wanted to do was grab that, and that was it. They'd accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, and they just shut down.
Yep.
Who knows what the hell they did?
Oh, that is awful. There should be a way of having, that overturned. There should be a Twitter judge that can say, this is a far more deserving person for this account.
If you can invent that or, have a word with Twitter and make it happen for me, Bill, I would love you forever.
I will see what I could do. I will have to. I am a Twitter lawyer, luckily. So the only place I'm a lawyer is Twitter, but but I will see what I can do on your behalf as my newest and first client.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. I really do need something from Andy, or else he's going to end up with a very probably disappointing. I don't know if it'll be disappointing, but a pick that he may not have wanted. We need something. I'm sure he's baby wrangling or whatever, but if he could just shout the name of a player while he's wrestling with his baby. We are literally, he's kind of out of time, but I'm trying to be kind about this. But I will need to put something up in the next few seconds. Otherwise, this will be the longest sixth round in the history of mock drafts. It's not my goal.
He hasn't said anything.
Okay, well, let him know that if it doesn't come in the next 10 or so seconds, he's going to be stuck with whatever I give him, which he may not appreciate. Let's see. Oh, yeah. The highest rated player still available on my personal board is probably not going to be someone he's going to love. So he might want to move quickly, or it'll be too late. Still nothing?
Still nothing.
All right, then. He's just further bolstered his quarterback room. It's Jamie Newman. Come on down.
Another one?
It's his fault. He had a chance. I did what I could. I waited an extra minute because I really like the guy, but sadly, or whatever you feel about it, Wake Forest / Georgia quarterback. I mean, he has until I finish typing. So if he wants to make one of those last-minute saves, he has another couple of seconds, but that's it.
Hold on. Patrick Johnson.
Patrick.
He wants Patrick Johnson.
From Tulane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good God, he made it exciting. I guess that was his intention.
Yeah, he was available. Damn.
Yep, but I knew he'd go right around this point. And I don't know, once again, I know it's going to become a running theme with me, but I don't know why he isn't higher on most people's boards. I see lots of people have been mocked in the 5th and 6th, and I'm like, but how? How do people, raw though he is, he's a really good pass rusher, and he's got potential to grow and get stronger. He might turn into a 5 if you want him to. Okay, so now this is a board pick, so I won't have to worry about scaring anyone up. Let me just find a board for them, which is just in my messages. I scrolled back too far. It's here. Here we go. It is Tough Borland, linebacker from The Ohio State University.
Nice.
And once again, another member of the all-name team.
How many Ohio State linebackers is that now? 4, 5?
Right. Baron Browning, Borland,
Warner.
Warner, at least 3. If there's a 4th one, I'm just blanking on him. That's a good number of them. And that's you, Hater.
I'm up.
You are, sir.
All right.
And to make you feel better, there's a disturbing number of good players still available.
Yeah, there is. They got time to
Oh,
steal.
wait, hold on. I see Will. No, I see Mark. Even better. Woohoo!
Look at your Tommy Kramer.
Oh, this is fun.
I'm on my phone, even though they told me not to be.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You've never been a follower of rules anyway. So, I mean, I'm sure that means almost, that almost makes it more enticing to you when they told you not to do it that way. I'm sure you were like, oh, yeah, I'll show you.
Well, I have this massive computer, but no mic or camera. So, go figure.
Right. Well, it's okay. It just means that your computer is 1,000 years old. No, it's not 1,000 years old. I don't know why it doesn't have a mic or a camera.
It's a.
Oh, okay.
HP,
Got
this
it.
thing.
Got it.
And it's a year old actually.
Oh, okay. See, I was just.
Yeah.
I figured I was kidding. I thought I was kidding.
I swore off porn, so I don't really need a camera anymore.
Oh. All right. Well, that's good to hear. And a great way to introduce you to the rest of the group. So, this is Mark Shark Champa Bay, very clever, who is joining us. I have known him, let me see.
About 11, 12 years.
Right.
12.
So Craig, I've known you a few months longer than I've known Mark. It's close, I think. I think I've known you about 12. I've known you like 11 and a half-ish. And then the others I've known more recently. But Mark and I wrote at one point for Fan IQ, and then you also were with CDS for a little while as well.
Yes. Credentialed for University of South Florida.
Yep. You gave us coverage of the Pro Day where I believe, amongst others, Jason Pierre-Paul was there, right? At least one.
Yeah, 2 different Pro Days. Jason Pierre-Paul, Jerome Murphy, Nate Allen were part of that group.
Yes. Nate Allen was a guy that I liked more than I probably should have. Now that I look back, but yes, I remember that group quite well.
Another guy that you love was a part of it, but everybody knew that he was never going to get drafted in the NFL. And you know who it is, right?
I would be shocked if I was not correct. Grothy. Yes.
You love that guy.
I didn't love him like I thought he should be drafted. I loved him like he was fun to watch. I knew what he was. Now, Nate Allen was more of me like overrating him talent-wise. I knew exactly what Matt Grothy was talent-wise. Yeah. A fun-to-watch college quarterback. And there's nothing wrong with being that. There's a place in the world for fun-to-watch college quarterbacks.
Yeah, but at 5'8.5", there's no place for you in the NFL.
No. Well, first of all, thank you for giving me the extra 2/3 or so of an inch, and which always appreciated. And once again, I know that that's what she said is in someone's mind. And then right, I thought, thank you, Ader. I can always count on you. And then hopefully you have a pick to give us, Hater.
Oh yeah, Tommy Kramer. No, offensive tackle, Notre Dame.
Okay.
I think even the Pats a bunch of offensive linemen.
Well, as everyone knows, they've now Harry Hellman's moved on, but they've had great offensive line coaching for I don't know a while. Yeah, they've done a really good job, and Mark often reminds me that we had disagreed on a tackle from a few year drafts back, and I wasn't as impressed as Mark was, and he was dead on in how much he liked the kid, and I was like, Ronnie. I thought Ronnie would be a solid starter. I didn't think he'd be spectacular, and I was wrong, and Mark was wrong.
Oh, I love Ronnie.
Well, then you and Mark can spend time together.
I don't like Notre Dame, but I like their offensive linemen.
Oh, right. No, I understand. I mean, I think it's hard. Once again, we talk about don't scout helmets, but there are some programs that understand developing certain positions better than others do. That's
Iowa as well.
Iowa and Stanford understand tight ends in a way that nowadays very few other, and I guess USC and Miami do a good job of developing tight ends as well. Iowa's always been known for offensive line play because Ferentz. And I guess he's got a line of succession going because I guess he'll eventually be handing the job to his son. The other thing I like about Notre Dame is they actually really measure their players. So here's a little pro tip. When you look at a team roster and everybody's height is exactly, whatever, nobody's a half, a quarter, an inch, whatever, it's all exactly.
Right.
And everybody's weight is either zeros or ends in 5. No one's 202, no one's 277, right? Everybody. That means they've never measured their players. They hand out a little thing saying, I'm not joking. There are teams that still do this. They just hand out like a little information card or whatever. The players put down whatever they want, just like when you get your driver's license, which is when people say, oh, my God, I can't believe so-and-so's 2.5 inches shorter than I thought. Well, I can answer that one for you. But, yeah, that's how that happens. So little pro tip, when you're looking through rosters, be highly suspicious of any roster where everyone's exactly whatever tall and exactly whatever in terms of height. Oh, and we've been joined by – oh, Andy's back. Okay, so Sean, I'm going to send you to the back for the moment until you get closer to your picks, and then I'm going to bring back who? Bring on Andy. Okay, and then I will bring you back soon. There he is, our baby wrangler.
Hey, what's going on?
So Craig, Mark, Jaron, Peter, well, some of you already know Andy. Andy, introduce yourself briefly, and then we're going to make our next pick.
How you doing? I'm Andy. I am picking for the Jets, and with Mark actually halfway through the Bucks.
Hey, Andy.
So, hey, how you doing?
There we go.
Yeah, I'll let you take the rest of the reins for the Bucks.
No, you won't.
All right, I'll take it on. I'll just take your suggestions at this point.
Real quick, if you don't mind, Bill, I just want to praise him. Here's what I love. Obviously, all those picks were amazing at 32, 64, and 95. We can only dream that actually happens in real life.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Trading up for Walker Little was like, I loved it in the sense of you got nothing to lose. I thought that was very you've already killed it. So you're like, all right, this guy hasn't played really meaningful snaps since 2018. He has obviously potential. Screw it, let's go get him. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. He is way too far, and I was like, hey, if there's a perfect spot for a guy that's got all kinds of skills, but we just haven't seen it all,
Right.
might as well be Tampa.
Why not?
And
Sorry, Bill. Thank you, man.
No, you're fine. I'm just checking
Absolutely.
on Alfie, who for some reason thinks giving like 1 to 3 names is sufficient. But let me see. He might have gotten lucky. Let's see if he did. Okay, he did. He did. Ambry Thomas is still there. And that puts Cincinnati on top. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't speak on it obviously, but I was shocked Patrick Johnson was still available in round 6. Like, that dude's a production machine, and
Athletic, long, fun to watch.
I don't understand why he has slid so far down for a lot of people. He's actually was more productive than Cam Sample,
Right.
who I like Cam Sample a lot too. So.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But people don't tend to like him, man. I don't get it.
I don't know if it's a small school or what, but I don't know why.
Not that small. Cam Sample's at the same school, and people are starting to wake up to him finally.
Yeah. You never know why certain guys pop off. I think it's just maybe Patrick Johnson isn't sexy from, say, a speed perspective, but he does everything well. He's played all over.
Yep.
Played so many positions. So yeah, I was excited about that.
Right. I don't. Whatever. I'm not sure what it is either sometimes, but I consistently liked him. I liked both of them. And obviously with Sample, you get more of a finished product in terms of technique and the body. He physically looks more like a guy who.
Yeah. And his hands are ridiculous.
Oh, right. Like I said, I'm a big fan. But I guess once again, if you're like Rod Marinelli, could do great things with a guy like Patrick Johnson. Denver, and that's you, right, Hater?
Yeah. Is Ernest Jones still on the board?
Sorry, who's still on the board?
Ernest Jones, the linebacker from South Carolina.
Ernest Jones.
Oh, Ernest Jones. Yes, Ernest Jones is available.
Yeah, that's the pick.
That's the pick? Okay. And Dallas is on the clock, which is you, Darren.
All right. So, with pick 192, Dallas decides to keep it in Texas and takes a backup quarterback after this disastrous last season and take Sam Ellinger.
Yeah,
Oh.
that wasn't you.
Okay. All right. I've seen crazier things happen. All right. Now, I have to ask, what do you envision him as being? What?
Well, in Dallas, he's just going to be a last chance effort in case Dak gets hurt again. And the backups we had last year outside of Andy Dalton just couldn't cut it. So might as well go out and grab someone else, give him a shot, and if it happens, it happens.
Okay. So you're not trying to Taysom Hill it up with him or whatever. You just see him as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I was trying to figure out. Puts Carolina on the clock.
I already got my Taysom Hill and Zach Davidson.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, confident, tight end, quarterback. It's like, what is that called in baseball? A utility player, there we go.
Yes, utility, correct. All right. I wouldn't say shocking. I would say, to me, a little bit of a surprise. Wait, let me confirm he's still available, though. Yeah, yes. Dimitri Felton is still around, right? Yeah, he is. I'm not going crazy. Okay.
I think so. Not a lot of running backs have been taken, so that's
No. Which I think is relatively realistic. I think we'll see a little bit of it. Wait, hold on. Oh, did I forget to put your player in, Jerry? I'm sorry. I did, apparently. Okay, that's what I get for. No, I did. What the hell? I did put Sam Ellinger in there. Where'd he go? Okay, give me a moment. I distinctly remember doing that. And that puts the 49ers in the clock.
What was the last pick?
The last pick was Dimitri Felton from UCLA. And he's one of those guys where people were, I think, a little too high on him. And now his value, I think people are now seeing him more clearly as what he is. But there were people who were super excited about him earlier in the year. And, I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade, but I tried to let them know that he's probably not quite what you think.
No, he's not.
I think there's schemes where Dimitri Felton can have a huge impact, though. You've got to find the right place for him. But imagine him in the Kansas City offense as an example.
Oh, right. That's an excellent example. And I agree. Yeah, in that particular example, yes, he would be an absolute menace.
And that's the sort of thing. You can find a guy like him in the, 4th, 5th rounds or whatever in the right scheme. He could cause havoc just with the speed he's got.
Kind of reminds me of James White.
James White, yes, that is. Funnily enough, I was on a podcast with a couple of guys a couple of weeks ago, and that was precisely who they came up with as well. Was James White as being a comp for Dimitri Felton, and I think you're absolutely right. Yeah,
I think the main difference is lower body pop. Felton doesn't have a lot of lower body strength, and maybe that can be fixed. While James White had a really good amount of lower body power. So maybe you can get him with
not in the late one, and
yeah. I mean, maybe you can get him with somebody, a track and field like triple jump, high jump coach, and in the weight room, and say, hey, we're gonna get you a little bit of explosion in those legs of yours. The Texans, you are on the clock. Pick 195. I think we do have the Texans GM with us, right? Don't we?
No.
Oh, I thought we did. No, never mind. Don't pay any attention to me. Okay, I'm going to send Andy to the back and bring Sean back because I think Sean has a pick before Andy does. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'll swap it. Okay. I thought we had the Texans GM with us, but I think I'm wrong. So what I will do is back to the big board. And Josh Ball for Marshall. Can somebody check the sheet to see if he's still available?
Yeah, he's there.
He's there? Okay. I thought so, but I wasn't 100% sure.
I love this player, by the way.
Yeah. I think people are underrating Josh Ball for reasons I'm not. I don't know if it's the you play at Marshall thing. I think there's another.
What's wrong with playing at Marshall?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, Randy Moss didn't turn out too badly, but I don't know. People don't seem to respect that program as much as they should, and it's a really good program. So I don't know why that is. And that brings us to the Giants, whose GM is. Oh, darn it! I was wrong. Andy did have it. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to. No, he's the Jets. Oh God. The Giants. Okay, hold on.
Is that Sean?
I'm trying to remember the Giants.
That's me.
Yes, there we go. I knew it was someone.
The New York Giants select Ketterall Slayton, nose tackle, Florida.
There we go, Jaron. Another guy that you could hang around with. You guys could. I know I keep harping on this, but really, you guys would love each other. It'd be awesome.
A human being.
Yes.
Well, Jared, you said you slimmed down to 346, correct?
356.
Oh, how could I cheat you out of 10 pounds? What was I doing there? Of course, for you, that's a jog around the block. 10 pounds either way, but I got it. Daryl Slayton. That is another, yes. Well, like I said, that is a yes, very large.
Very big human being.
Do you think he can play on all 3 downs, or the fact that he might be, or do you are fine with if he turns out to be a 2-down player?
I'd be fine with a 2-down player. They lost Tomlinson at the nose, brought in Danny Shelton, but Shelton's only on a 1-year deal, so Patrick Graham only tends to use 2 down linemen on 3rd down anyway, and then
True.
He'll just rush the hell out of you on 3rd down. So
yes, that is exactly what they like to do. We like to just plug everything up on this down, or maybe 2 downs, and then all those guys go get Gatorade, and then we put a bunch of guys that look like Patrick Johnson on the field, and everybody go rush the pass. And that's you back. Yeah, it is. That's you back, hater.
Washington.
Pick number 197.
All right.
That's a New England hitter.
Another New England?
Yeah.
Oh. How many picks do they have?
They have a lot of picks late. You know it. You know how it works.
Yes.
I know. Hold on. I'm going to put this guy on the board.
That is why Bill Belichick realized he needed to get a husky puppy to run the last part of the draft.
Malcolm
Malcolm Kuhn?
Wait, who's the player?
Malcolm who? How do you say it again? The egg from Buffalo?
Kuhn?
Oh, Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz. Oh, okay, got it.
Kuhn.
Yes, got it.
I just wanted to say Mountain Knife. Or Moose.
And I've been provided with the pick from the Chargers, and they will be taking wide receiver Marquez Stevenson from Houston.
Oh, I like it. No, his 40 time was not as fast as I thought it was going to be.
Nope, he is. And I had some insight into that. through a friend of the, I think Mark knows who let me know that he was not going to run the time that people were expecting. So I had some inside information regarding Marquez Stevenson. He's still a very good football player, but no, he's not a blazing fast guy, despite the fact that he's able to beat people deep, because it's not just speed. There have been a lot of guys who consistently get deep on people, and obviously, I mean, I think most of us have heard of Jerry Rice, who weren't just straight running past people. They were creating the, almost would say, illusion that they were going at full speed, in essence, and then you adjust to that. And then it's like, uh-oh, that wasn't full speed. And then they hit the nitrous bottle, basically. And now you're like, and you're taking the wrong angle. And Marquez Stevenson is a guy who's very quick, but not super fast, but he understands speed manipulation. And there are guys who are super fast who are bad at speed manipulation and actually don't beat people deep, even though they run fast, because they don't know how to set people up. It's an art.
I mean, his one time was still fast.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm not saying he was slow. I'm just saying he's not a blazer.
No, he's not blazing like I thought he was going to be, though.
No. Minnesota is on the clock. Oh, that's Will, darn it. And you don't have him. Okay, let me. Oh, wait, do we? Let me just scroll down. There might be a hidden individual down there. Oh, that's our Andy. Okay. Let me see if I can get Will.
Bill Carroll.
Well, hello, Will Masiak. You may know Mark Chisholm. Mark Chisholm is with us. Sean is with us, who you met yesterday. Peter is with us, who you met yesterday, a.k.a. Chris Disney. You do not know Craig Strachan. Jaron you met, and Andy you met. So we just would like a selection for pick 199 for the Vikings.
Tom Brady.
Sure. I think it's the Vikings' last pick of the 2021 draft.
I believe you're correct.
And they're going to select a quarterback. His name is Donald Hammond from Air Force.
You crafty and somewhat twisted individual. Okay. You. Right.
He's released from his 2-year commitment.
Correct.
Because of academic infraction. And my opinion, because it'd be hard to say because of better default in his class and as a developmental quarterback. So it's pretty tough to question as to what that quarterback is on like that.
Yeah, he's a fascinating prospect, and he's one of the rare guys from Air Force Academy where there's at least a slight character. Not even a red flag. It's I don't know, like light yellow, butter colored. I don't know, beige. I don't know, whatever color flag it is. But usually, obviously, the one thing you count on when you get a guy from a service academy is like not having to spend a lot of time on character stuff. But he's not. But I mean, he's an interesting prospect, and there's a lot of not question marks. Mystery is probably even better way to put it. There's a lot of mystery to what he might be, but he's super fun on tape. And if you haven't checked him out, I strongly encourage it. Okay, fascinating pick. You have quarterback Donald Hammond III from the Air Force Academy.
Perfect. Thank you for reaching out to me, and I'll from
Thank you, sir. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Enjoy. Bye.
For those who don't already follow him, his Twitter handle is @accidentalzen. Zen like Zen philosophy, and accidental spelled the way it's spelled. So written together like one word. And I think he's the only person who has anything resembling that on Twitter. So anybody that pops up should be Will. That brings us to the Raiders are on the clock.
For pick 200, I think this is an absolute steal for Las Vegas. Gonna go. What's the school? We're gonna go to Colorado and take a
Okay.
defensive Mustafa Johnson.
Ah, yes. What do you like about him? Because I like him, I think, more than most people too.
He's just kind of a monster. He was able to achieve 15 sacks in his career. Solid tackle.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's a guy that can be moved around a little bit, and I think he's a little better. I mean, when I think about just pass rush ability, I don't know if there's too many better interior, like true interior. I mean, I'm not counting Greg Rousseau as an interior. I mean, he rushes from the interior, but he's not a tackle.
Yeah.
If you're talking about true defensive tackles, I don't know if there's many people who actually have a better idea, plan, and execution of actual pass rush moves than Mustafa Johnson. So I think it's a good value here. And the Giants are back on the clock.
Right, the New York Giants select Puka Williams, running back, Kansas.
Yes, I wondered with, and no offense to the people that like Demetric Felton, I feel like in Puka Williams you're getting the same guy but with real speed.
Right.
So if I had to choose between the two of them, I would take Puka.
Yeah, way better.
Obviously, you'd like him to gain a little bit of weight.
Kind of small.
He's kind of small. That's exactly, Peter. That is incredibly accurate. He is kind of small, but there's always the hope that he'll find a couple of pounds in the weight room at the NFL level.
I like my opinion on Devontae Smith. I think he's too small.
Well, we shall see, as they say. That brings us to pick 202, which is Cincinnati, and I will go to the board for that. Is Jonathan Cooper, speaking of Ohio State, guys, I think he's still available, right? Because I'm going to double. Yeah, I thought so.
Another one.
Yes, now we're at 4. Someone asked if there were 4 of them. Now that's the 4th one of the Ohio State. And Houston's back on the clock. A lot of that going back on the clock around this point. And the selection is, a sort of baby run on running backs. Ramondre Stevenson from Oklahoma. And this is probably a good place to get, especially if you're not getting a full-time running back, a guy who's going to be definitely part of a committee. This is a good time to get them. Why overpay? And this was a trade pick, right? Yes. So that's Donovan. Here we go. Is Ben Mason from Michigan.
Yep, he's available.
Okay, thank you. I thought so, but good to have it confirmed. Some people think he's a center. Some people think he's a guard. And I guess if you're Green Bay, you hope he can do both. He might get the opportunity to play some of each.
I thought Ben Mason was a fullback.
I'm sorry, that's what he is.
I was gonna say,
That's right. Some people think that's what some people think is a tight end. This is,
tight end.
and I don't know what that's based on, other than the fact that he can catch the ball reasonably well. But he's not a guy that I would really, even though he can block, I don't think he blocks in line. I don't know. We'll see.
he's not a blocking fullback, but
That's
he's
my.
not
But
he's
that's
not
my,
a typical technical fullback. He's a
right. But that's
pass catching guy.
yeah. Which we'll see how that works out.
I don't like Mike Holbert. No, Mike Holbert the block.
Pass catching fullback.
Yes.
I don't like Mike Holbert. You guys remember Mike Holbert?
Well, I'll tell you the person who was sort of the king of the pass catching fullbacks. They just didn't use him well enough, or in my mind, well enough or often enough. For those who are Raiders fans, you will surely remember that at one point, one of the fastest players in their team was their fullback, which doesn't happen very often. And he had great hands.
Yeah.
I know Mark knows what I'm talking about. And he once again, born a little too early. This happens to certain players. I think nowadays they would have moved him around. He would have played some tight end. He would have played some fullback, some running back, some slot receiver. And unfortunately, he just played fullback. And they used him like you would use a fullback. Or sometimes they would let him catch the ball, I think, things like that. And he returned, I think he might have returned a few kicks, which you rarely see fullbacks do. Am I right on that, Mark? He did. I think he even experimented with returning kicks.
For like an entire season.
Right, I thought so. I thought I wasn't going crazy. Well, I might have been going crazy, but not about that. Okay. Well, if there is a team that knows what to do with a pass-catching fullback, it might be the old Packers definitely would have known to do with one. I don't know about the current version of the Packers. Let's see. The Titans are on the clock.
In my opinion, he's not the best pass-catching fullback in this draft.
Now, that is something I would agree with and find somewhat worrisome. But yes, right? If you're going to take a pass-catching fullback, maybe you should try to get the best pass-catching.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not the best. I'm not really missing. I don't know why I don't really like missing players, but.
Well, maybe that's why they call you the hater. Maybe that's the real reason. It's a Michigan thing, maybe.
Yeah, I don't like missing.
Justin Hilliard did get taken, right? I keep thinking he did, but maybe I'm wrong. I should check, shouldn't I?
By the way, Bill, in case you're still in the back of your mind struggling, Olawale was the fullback you're talking about for the Raiders.
No, I'm not talking about Olawale wasn't running a 4.4. I'm talking about
who were you talking about?
From University of Washington. Super fast fullback. Like maybe the fastest fullback since Jim Brown, probably. And he had like a nice long career with the Raiders of 8 or 9.
I know who you're talking about.
Hold on.
I don't want to get you off track. I thought you were talking about Olawale.
No.
That's who I thought.
No, he was a decent athlete. I'm talking about a guy who was one of the most athletic players on the team.
I mean, Olawale had like 2 really long touchdown runs in 1 year. That doesn't happen usually for a fullback.
Yeah, and he was a good athlete, but the guy I'm talking about was a great athlete. But let me
yes, I don't want to get you distracted.
put the Titans pick in, and then I will. Justin Hilliard, right? I was checking to see if Justin Hilliard could make it. That's what I was doing.
Will admit, as a Cowboys fan, I was pissed when the Raiders stole their fullback and then traded their other fullback to Dallas.
Okay, Justin Hilliard is available.
Which was Olawale.
Yep. Justin Hilliard. Linebacker, Ohio State. So now we have a full complement. All of the linebackers and corners, I guess basically all of the draft-eligible defenders from Ohio State, I think, are now off the board. I don't think there's any left. I think that was finally the last of them. And now the Colts are on the clock.
That'd be Hales, right? He's still studying.
Oh, can someone find out if Hales is able to fire off a pick real quick? Yeah. Unfortunately, Craig, this young man is attempting to complete his education as opposed to devoting himself to a mock draft. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Got the pick.
Oh, okay.
All right. Colts take Stone Forsythe.
Okay.
Big man from Florida.
He is a very large. Some would say large, but he's like a door frame, basically, like very up and then down. Yes.
He also said that Forsythe is a top 100 player for him. So he's
Wow.
excited.
Okay. That's a level of love and affection I am surprised to hear. Okay. Interesting. I don't dislike him, but to me, he looks like a right tackle. And there's, you need right tackles. But yeah, that's a bit of a surprise that he has him that high. I mean, I don't know. What does everyone else think about Stone Forsythe?
That's kind of hard for me.
Okay.
I don't think he'll ever be a left tackle.
No. I mean, I think he's a right tackle. I mean, I think that's if you are fine with right tackles, then that you got a pretty solid right tackle. The Chiefs pick. Okay, the Chiefs pick is now.
Oh my God.
Okay, tight end John Bates from Boise State University. That's one of those guys who is a good athlete, but not super fast. But he's nimble and quick and flexible. And by today's standards, he's a pretty good blocker. By the standards of an earlier era, he would have been thought of as a below-average blocker. But we've changed on how we see that. Packers back with a pick they got via the Bears with the deal they did yesterday. And let's see, is Matt? No, I feel like Matt Bushman got taken, right? I think he got taken yesterday. Let me just make sure. Nope, that's a different mock draft I'm thinking of, apparently. Okay, so they did. They got run-on tight ends from the sort of the beautiful mountain states of our country. Idaho and Utah. Now I liked what I saw of Bushman the year prior. He, of course, missed this whole season with an injury, which was really poorly timed because BYU got more attention than it's gotten in a very long time. Not a good year to be hurt. The Rams are on the clock. I mean, it's never a good time to be injured, but when your quarterback is tearing it up and all of a sudden every scout in the world is showing up to your games. Jonathan Marshall available? Let me see. Let me check if Jonathan Marshall is still available.
While you're checking that, the great thing about having someone that doesn't grind like you guys, but has watched football for 4 years, is I can ask honestly ignorant questions, and you guys can help me. I'm being serious when I say that. So I'm looking at Stone Forsythe. Even though I live in Florida, I don't watch very much college football. What's the difference between him and Walker Little? I mean, they're built relatively the same. From the very little bit I watched Walker Little for about 3 games. What's exactly the difference?
if you're talking about pass blocking technique, Walker Little is cleaner. His hand placement is more accurate. He gets his strikes into the breastplate inside more often, doesn't get outside, doesn't hold as often. What you like about Forsythe is, as far as I know, he's never had a serious injury, but I'm going off my memory. I might be wrong. While Little has been nicked. So that I worry about a little bit about him. But yes, they're physically fairly similar, but Walker Little, the reason Walker Little would have a better chance to survive on the left side is he's much further along technically. That's what I would say. What do you guys think?
That was exactly what I was going to say. Is Walker Little has got the technique to go with the frame, whereas Stone Forsythe relies on his size to get him out of trouble, and to be the thing that distinguishes him from the defensive end he's playing opposite. He's like, I'm just going to be bigger than you, and I'm going to push you out the way, and I'm going to do it somehow, and I haven't quite worked out how, but I'm going to do it. Walker Little is polished, or looked polished 2 years ago. We've got to see how he comes back from that injury.
And that's the big question mark, is who exactly is going to walk through that door when you draft him and fly him in. And you're hoping he's the guy that you saw the last time he was able to play football.
Okay. And one more thing about Stone Forsythe is, in college football and push people around, but he didn't in the NFL and push people around.
Yep. The Ravens are on the clock.
Who did the Rams take?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Rams took. Sorry. Because everyone else was talking, I just threw up the board pick, but it's not offensive tackle, Bill, defensive tackle. Defensive tackle Jonathan Marshall from Arkansas.
Yeah. Hales just messaged me, tell Bill to say that Jonathan Marshall is an edge, not an offensive tackle.
No, he's not an edge. He's a D tackle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what Hales has sent me.
Oh yeah, no. I knew that was just a typo. But yeah, I know. Trust me, I know what position. I'm a huge fan of Jonathan Marshall. I know exactly what position he plays. But no, he's not an edge unless you're planning to have a defensive line of everyone being over 300 pounds, which I guess would be a dream for you, Jared. All
that's what I do on Madden.
Exactly. There you go. Right. Why not? That's nothing but 3s and 4 eyes and maybe a couple of nose shades thrown in for flavor. The Ravens are on the clock, and
I was sending it.
Oh, okay, good, excellent.
Oh, you sniped me. All right. He's taking an SMU tight end, Kylan
Granson, yes. So that is a real litmus test for, how do I put this? I want to say the IQ of the team that takes him. There's got to be a better way of putting that. But I've seen exactly that same player go to teams and they don't really know what to do with him, and then they say, well, maybe he can be a fullback, or maybe he can be a such and such. And they kind of eventually, after a couple of years, sort of give up. Hopefully, they have a real, actual plan for what they want to do with him. Because 6'2.5" tight ends, Delaney Walker. I'm thinking the ones that have actually been used well. Delaney Walker, to a lesser extent, Gijon Robinson. That might be the list. Hold on. I mean, you got to go way back to get guys like John Mackey, but more recently,
and a long time.
Well, I'm saying more recently, teams have struggled to figure out what they're doing with short tight ends. But I like him. Like I'm just scared, I guess what I'm saying, in terms of his NFL future, because I've seen this movie before and it really works that well. But I really like the player. I just hope the Ravens know what they're doing. Obviously they should know. But if anybody knows what to do with tight ends, it should be, a team that was run by a tight end for over a decade. But that brings us to
Let me know if you hear the Lego movie in the background or not.
Oh, I most certainly do. Is that what that is?
Yeah. Yeah, I got the.
Oh, well, everybody's breaking down tape in your house.
Yeah, he's breaking down Lego film tape though.
There's nothing wrong with breaking down Lego because you start somewhere, and if nothing else, what's a better building block for learning how to analyze?
I see what you did there. That was brilliant.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I this is why I don't get a lot of sleep at night. I got to work on these things.
You take time to think of those jokes, Bill?
Oh! At least
shots fired.
And when you say it with the accent, it hurts more. It hurts more. Oh,
just Kamara Usman here.
Woo!
Good man.
Woo! I may have to walk that one off. But while I'm doing that, I'm pretty sure this player's been taken. Let me double check though. Every once in a while, there's a player that I keep thinking he's been taken, and then I check and they aren't. So I would make sure, but I feel like that player's gone before. Yeah. I thought so. Right. That was in the little D tackle run we had before. I thought so. Okay, so no, you're not getting him. Who's next on your board? Nice try though. It's like somebody will submit like a 5th, 6th round board and have a player on it. Like, really? You thought he might be there? Quite the optimist.
Justin Fields in the 4th round, maybe.
I love that stuff, though. It's like, you know what? Swing for the fences. Live.
Yeah.
Dance like no one's watching. Sing like no one can hear you. Draft like no one can see you.
Will hit me up. He's like, I don't even care what it needs to get done. I just want to get up there to take the guy that I want. And I was like, man, he really believes in this guy. And then all of a sudden he's like, Justin Fields. I was like, no, he's not available on the first, first 2 picks of day 3. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not. If only he were. Man, what a world this would be. The selection. Let's see. So I got to go over to the next round for them. Gone.
Also, I missed it, but that's one heck of a value for Stone.
Yes,
from Florida.
Yes,
I think he should probably go maybe beginning of round 4.
Could
ideally where he should go.
He could, yeah.
Yeah, he there was a lot of plays that were left some stuff to be desired from him, but at the same time, he's got the skill set and the tools to get it done in the pros.
Well, once again, you're saying when you take a guy like that, I believe in my coaching staff. They're going to get this kid right. That's what you're saying. You're saying they can get this kid right. They're going to work with him. He'll be fine. That's what you're saying. You're saying I trust my coaches. And the pick is in. It is Chris Rumpf from Duke. So now all the Duke Panthers are on board. And that brings Houston back on the clock. Houston has a lot of late picks.
Don't they have like 5 or 6?
Something like it's a high number.
They don't have any first round picks, so that
no. They've loaded up the back end of the draft, which I've seen work out. I've seen it work out where you end up getting. I mean, what did we just say? didn't quite get Stone Forsythe, but wait, hold on. Is he still available? Is Osa Odigizua still available?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Surprisingly, he's available.
I was about to say, like, well, see, there you go. There's an example of somebody who didn't think would be there who's there.
I got a few guys that I'm kind of shocked about, actually.
It happens though. Every year, maybe not quite to that extent, but every year there's a handful of guys that you thought would go a round and a half, 2 rounds. So now part of it's because it's stuff that we just don't have access to. You know, his psychological testing came back, oh, this guy's going to murder somebody, right? Or, you know, or once again, an undisclosed medical issue or character stuff came back from, you know, talking to somebody in his past. They were like, oh, yeah, he did this awful, awful thing or whatever it is. So sometimes it's that. And sometimes teams just look at players very differently from the way that people who are not in that world, in the bubble, you know, don't always know. Okay, that brings us to the Bills. Okay, got it.
But then you got those no-brainers that people are like, why are these guys slipping down? And then, of course, they hit the field, and you're like, why did they ever slip down? You know, guys like DK, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, even Tyler Johnson to an extent in Tampa. Guys that just like everybody around, you see the whole draft season is like loving the people, and then all of a sudden they slide like 2 to 3 rounds later than they should, and sure enough, they hit the field and immediately make an impact.
Sure.
Those I don't understand. Those are the type of prospects I don't understand how they slip, unless, like you mentioned, it's literally something in the background that we've got no clue of.
Yeah, right. And sometimes it is.
And for DK Metcalf, that dude was that was my number 1 wide receiver in that draft.
You weren't alone.
Yeah, that was my number 7 overall. I remember just being like, what is going on?
Yeah, well, I think it was a combination of injury stuff, a deep, once again, stop me heard this before, a deep wide receiver class, and he wasn't the world's most polished route runner. He probably never will be, but he's clearly managed to piece together enough about how to play that he'll be all right. He'll probably manage to stick. I am officially saying I think this kid has a shot. Where were we? Oh, pick number what? Oh, Monty Rice. The Bills got Monty Rice, linebacker, Georgia.
Wait, he's gone.
Yeah, Monty Rice has already been selected.
Oh, you know what? He is gone. But they're not getting Monty Rice. Okay. Never mind. They're getting someone else then. Okay, let's see who's next on that board. But instead, they are getting drum roll, please. Let's see. They are instead getting Antonio Phillips, cornerback, Ball State.
Hey, Mark, looks like Tampa Bay's up in a few picks.
You're coming up.
Yeah, let me know if you have a couple positions that you'd
well,
that
as
you'd
far
think
as I
about.
know, you stole Pay, you stole Tryon. Wilson is probably drafted correctly because of his, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. So that's about right. And then we did that Walker Little thing. I would say, I'd say the last 2 were sort of those, hey, roll the dice and you could get a big, huge payoff on a 2 gamble pick. So I'd say maybe stick closer to maybe if there's anybody left in the interior defensive line that jumps out at you. Because Sue's not going to be back probably. Golston's probably not going to be back. So that's 2 immediate holes in that scheme.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at the board.
Okay, and I'm pretty certain Xavier Kelly is available. I'm just going to double check.
And hey, if Tampa Bay wants to draft another defensive tackle, they can always trade Vita Vea to Dallas.
That's going to actually be a no.
Probably a no, especially since I think there's at least one more year of rookie contract. I think. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I love that. It was. And granted, even I was like a little upset because I'm a Florida State fan.
No, don't say it. Why
Yeah.
did you get Derwin James?
Well, the only reason is because I had Derwin as a top 3, I think, or 4 player on the board, and it just like fit. I wasn't mad at the selection of Vita. I was just like, Derwin's one of the best college players I'd ever seen play live. Some of the freaky stuff he did, I had never seen somebody at that size move the way he did.
Now, I'm going to assume you didn't get a chance to watch Sean Taylor.
I did. I'm just saying live.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean Taylor, I never saw live in person. I literally was not far away from Derwin James in a spring game, and they were like putting him at linebacker. They were putting him at edge. They were doing all of this stuff, and like whatever push position they put him at, he felt like he was naturally there. Like they put him at edge, and like I had to double take the number on him because I was like, who is that edge bending like that? And it was Derwin James. Like it was ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I just had never seen anything live like that.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And let me say real quick, I know you're going to get back. It's a shame what has happened to him in the pros because he clearly was the linchpin that stopped Lamar Jackson and the Ravens a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, he was fine. But did light probably reach a little bit for Vea? Maybe. But, I mean, I wouldn't have.
I mean, he's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal. So I can't complain about that one bit.
And for those of you who met, I think most of you have met. Okay, no, you two have definitely not met. So to my, I think if you're seeing the screen what I'm saying, directly to my right, you will find my longtime friend, Craig Strachan, of all things. I'll get over it at some point that I've just been mangling your name for a dozen years. And then Will Masiak is beneath me, right there. And then beneath Craig is Mark the Shark, who I don't know, you may or may not know. And then Andy, if you keep going, right, if you keep going that way, Andy, and then above Andy is Jared, which should be that way. Yes.
It's pretty messed up that you just said that Will is beneath you. I think you guys are on equal ground.
If the shoe fits.
Will is just an egomaniac.
Yeah, that's me. But Andy and Jared are like, you guys are the lifers, I see. You've got nothing. There's no outside world. There's just the mock DraftAPalooza. I see.
Not exactly.
Football and the gym and
Oh, yeah, there we go.
No, I got plenty going on. My wife's a nurse and she works on the weekends, so I have to watch him the entire weekend. So
He needs a T-shirt that says "Future Draft Expert,"
yeah, absolutely.
or as my wife likes to say, "The Imaginary Draft Expert."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing pretend, just as adults.
So it appears, and once again, I occasionally miss these things, but it looks like Darius Hodge is still available. I think he is. If so, he is going to be a Tennessee Titan. So another Marshall player off the board. And that brings us to, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to thank Bill Carroll for including me for the second year. I guess the first year what I did was not bad enough. Bill, I don't know if you remember the height of the pandemic. I think I was on the air with you for about 10 hours, it felt like.
It seemed like it, yes. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for tearing yourself away from, I guess, the senior combine to be here with us.
Yes.
I love that you still play, Will. Like, it gives me so much hope.
Well, the 27-year-old guy was like, "How old are you?" Because he's in the Army, so he's like basically doing training, almost like he's an athlete every day. And
nice.
And he said, he's like, it really surprised me that you still play. I was like, surprises me too. Well, okay. Now we got the thanks and praise out of the way. I sent a revised list to Bill yesterday, and I didn't actually get the player that I wanted for the Steelers, and not only lost him, I lost like the next three guys at that position since then. So I'm scrambling a little bit for need here.
That's okay.
So I'm gonna.
You have another minute and a half to.
Yeah. No, I got it figured out. I am going to wait on that position and grab another one that's in position to be. I got really two big needs left for the Steelers. A running back's definitely an issue for them, and I have this sort of draft principle. I like value buys, so I like everybody likes the great players. Got to draft them early, so on and so forth. And yeah, there's these deep sleepers that you don't really pay much for, but you don't get the same kind of thing that you get. To me, I like a player later who has similar qualities to a player earlier that gets picked really high. This player is a running back who emulates Travis Etienne in the best way possible. He's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit faster. He has a similar playing style and build. He's much better pass receiver. He would be one of the top 2 or 3 most productive pass receivers at running back in this draft. And I think that's a good fit for a team like the Steelers. Whether Ben continues to play or not, I still think you don't want to be have a runner back there who doesn't do a lot for you in the pass game. Hard to stay on the field. But this player's not really gotten a lot of buzz. I'm very happy to select for the Pittsburgh Steelers running back Deion Jackson from Duke.
Duke, yep. Deion Jackson's a player that, partially due to Duke's offensive line being not exactly, what's the word I'm looking for, good, and partially due to the fact that they like to spread it around, though it was so obvious to me that he was by far their best running back. I don't know why he didn't get more carries. Like, I understand you can't fix the offensive line, just say get better, right? But you can definitely give the ball, both in the running game and the passing game, even more to Deion Jackson.
I look at it as a positive. He's low mileage, because they shared the carries. And he's funny, like you said, he was their best short yardage back and their best receiving back. So to me, that should be a guy that is a better pro than a college player. I hope.
Well, right.
I attach my name to him forever, my reputation.
But at the very least, he will be a guy that has a very nice niche role, and he could be more. I think is how I would put it. I just was shocked that they didn't, with his level of talent, I was shocked they didn't use him more. Like, you don't have another guy like him. I was like, I'm thinking like this. If it were me, and of course I don't think about his pro prospects or whatever, he'd be getting the ball between 25 and 30 times a game between carries and passes if it were my offense. But yes, I agree. I like the player.
Yeah, I love getting Josh Dobbs a weapon. Nobody thought they'd hear that today.
Yeah, I prefer that they give Cole Kelly or Malik Willis a weapon, but yes, something like that.
Okay, so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh yeah,
are on the clock.
Yes. All right, this is exciting. I know what you said, Mark, but let me throw 2 names at you. I'm gonna burn one of these names out there, and people are gonna hear it. But
you'll be fortunate if I know either guy. But go ahead. 2
guys that I'm looking at is, while I'm not necessarily set on we need to take a quarterback for the future or anything like that. Surprisingly, Jamie Newman is still around there, and then the other one I was looking at is Jamie and Sherwood. who's a safety, but he's kind of built like a linebacker. So it would fit nicely in that Todd Bowles defense because you got kind of an oversized safety that's more like a linebacker. So those are the two names that I'm thinking of, and I'll let you kind of take the pick.
Well, I know Newman does get a lot of buzz at Wake Forest. I know a little bit about him. I believe he has been a long-time starter for them, like lots of starts. Does that sound right? How many starts does Jamie Newman have at Wake Forest?
He did before he transferred, and then obviously the transfer didn't kind of work out because he ended up sitting out the season. So he was getting buzz coming out of Wake Forest, and then he was supposed to play at Georgia, which I think probably would have upped his buzz even more, but he just didn't end up playing. So,
yeah, I mean, box safety is fine. I'll tell you what, I love our safeties, but Jordan Whitehead and the style he plays, you're going to continue to see him get hurt like you did in the playoffs because his body, and I know you guys always talk about bodies and the draft, and I love Whitehead. I love how he plays. Bill, we were talking about Bob Sanders, and I'm not comparing Whitehead to Bob Sanders, but we talked about him, Bill, about 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
And you can't play that style with that body and last in the NFL. It's not going to happen. And so, yeah, I would definitely, I didn't catch the name, but I would probably lean more towards a big, versatile safety over a quarterback that's probably not going to break a roster. He left. So I'll make the pick. It's the guy he said.
Jamie Sherwood.
Oh, Damien Sherwood. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I have the answer to your question because I know it would be bugging you the rest of the day, and Bill wouldn't want me to let it go. 16 starts at Wake Forest for
16 starts. Did he start anywhere before that, though?
No.
Okay.
And how many starts did he have at Georgia?
None.
0. Yeah. Okay.
So sorry, Andy. Go with
apologies.
Safety.
Okay. All right, we'll go with Jamie Sherwood, safety.
All right, and I have the Saints pick right here too.
Oh, well, I will take it.
Out of Auburn, sorry. Yep, forgot to mention that part.
Saints take linebacker Isaiah McDuffie.
That's one of my highest rated players, maybe my highest rated player that's still available.
Oh, wow.
Big fan. Big fan. And some teams, from what I'm hearing, see Jamie Sherwood actually as a possible linebacker.
Yep, that's why I was thinking that's kind of just a perfect fit. As like Mark said, Whitehead's just he's a missile that's he's gonna miss some games.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, he throws that little frame around with zero regard for bodily harm.
Yeah.
And that you can't do that over an NFL career. And these days, I'm looking at Sherwood's stats now. He's a big dude. You can start incorporating those into linebacker roles, and so the NFL is going that way anyway. So if you choose to have 3 bigger players on the field behind your front 4.
Yeah, my dream pick for the Bucs actually in the first round is something I did in another mock. I traded up to 22 because this guy fell, and I took JOK, which I think would be just the perfect fit for Tampa.
Yeah, because that's what they need. They need playmakers. Okay, so that brings us to the Falcons. And I have a board to examine.
Well, I will stay and see what the Falcons are going to do, Bill, because as you know, that's my team.
Yes.
But once that pick is in, I am going to have to love you and leave you. As much as it's been a pleasure to be here for an hour and a half or so, it is now after 9 p.m. here in the UK, and I've got some stuff to do to sort myself out ready for work tomorrow.
Oh, my.
Right. Oh, yes. I appreciate that you carved out the time. First of all, if I had a dime for everyone said, now I have to love you and leave you. The pick is A.J. Parker, cornerback, Kansas State. And some people think he might even project to safety, but I think he can stay a corner.
I mean, we all know the Falcons need help at defensive back, right? We've basically got AJ Terrell, and that's it.
Yes. I'm surprised their official roster doesn't just say that.
It probably should.
Nothing else to see here. Move along. Well, for those, and I think one or two people may have joined late, one more time, say the name and URL of your website and how people can follow you on Twitter, please, before you leave.
Yes,
I will do.
please.
Thank you. So it's called UK Draft, and the URL is just ukdraft.co.uk, and you can see my Twitter handle on the screen, UK_draft as well.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Craig Strahan. Not only is the classiest, by far, obviously, of the people here, but look how handsome he is. Such a good-looking gentleman. Yes, Mark is really enjoying it.
You're very kind, Bill. You're very kind.
Always a pleasure.
Real quick, I always thought Roger Bennett put that accent on, but apparently it's real.
Some of us do have this accent, yeah.
Once again, I thank you. So, Hader, I'll be bringing you back up. Craig, as always, it is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure. You'll be getting an article from me soon, sir.
Let's catch up soon. It's been a pleasure, gents. Good to see you all. Take care.
Take care.
Good night.
Cheers.
And bringing back the Hader. Thank you, Hader, for your patience. But, I had to give priority to a guy who came all the way.
Problem.
That's Donovan's pick. Okay. Pick 220. Oh, did I announce 219? I got so. Oh, I did. Yeah, because he was right. Okay, good. So 219. Believe it or not, somebody else wanted Sam Ehlinger. I'll be darned. Okay. Hey.
Well, at this point, yeah.
Well, I wasn't aware that anybody wanted Sam Ehlinger.
Why not? Right here, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Love is a mini splendored thing, and it's different for different people. Run on Boston College linebackers. Max Richardson's off the board. And that brings, Montel. See if I can get ahead of Montel for the Bears pick.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 70856712238 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Montel, you have 1 minute and 28 seconds to get a pick in. I will also be texting you, and I'll see if I can get you on. Anybody else besides me follow Montel on Twitter and fire up a DM to him? Do you, Mark?
I got him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fire up a DM, and I'll text him. Thank you, sir.
One of the reasons I wasn't involved in the first 2 days was, Twitter completely got rid of my Twitter account.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find you when I looked for you. Okay. I thought it was me. It's like I could have sworn it was okay. That's
apparently they didn't like some of the words I told a racist asshole. So.
Oh man. Oh, that blows.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I got carried away.
Oh, okay.
No such thing.
Now, when it comes to humanity, I agree.
Well,
I think getting booted from Twitter is a sign of, should be a sign of praise for you.
Well, but it also
okay. I think the pick is
Donald
in.
Trump, so there's that. Yeah. Sorry, pick is in. Go, Montel.
The pick is in. Yep, it is Cornell Powell. So all of the receivers from Clemson pretty much are now off the board. That's another guy that I didn't think I would like as much as I ended up liking.
Ben.
Like, It's like, let me watch. Maybe that was a fluke. Let me watch another game. You know, and this guy keeps getting lucky. I gotta watch another one. And while I don't think he'll ever be a star, I think he's going to be a solid start. Not I guess by starting, I mean wide receiver 3/4, which is sort of a starter nowadays because you are in one back pretty much all the time. And a lot of teams even will go tight endless a fair amount of times. That brings us to the Panthers are on the clock. And then Cardinals. And then let me start getting Albie ready because he keeps giving me like 1 into 3 players and thinks that's going to be fine. So
he does that.
let me let him know to be ready just on the off chance that all 3 of them are gone. You can get some more playing. And I will get the Panthers pick in a second. Okay. That'll be. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. All right. Let me put that pick in, and we'll see if there's only one player from the list that Albie gave me that's still available. So maybe he gets lucky, but maybe not. He likes to live dangerously. Let's see. The Panthers. Wait, is he still available? No, I don't think so. Let me double check.
Who?
Khalil Herbert? I'm thinking he's gone, right? Is he?
He's weirdly available.
Wow. Oh, wow. Nicely done, Panthers. All right. I just sort of automatically took him off the board in my brain. All right. That's value. And the Cardinals are now on the clock.
All right, so the Cardinals are going to go to Buffalo for a running back. My running back 5 right now, Jarrett Patterson.
I'm glad somebody else loves Jarrett Patterson. Now, I understand when you look at him, you're thinking, is that all there is? But his tape, man, he is so – first of all, people use terms like contact balance, right, all the time. And he is essentially the poster child for ludicrously good contact balance. People hit him, well, a lot, obviously. I mean, he gets hit a lot. But look at how few times the first 2 people take him off his feet. Right? I am so in love with his ability to get those extra yards that don't look like they should be there. He's small, and he's a good but not great athlete. So I can kind of understand why more people don't love him, but, man, is he amazingly available to find yardage that other backs wouldn't.
And he's a scoring machine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks
52
like
rushing touchdowns.
Yep. It looks like Albie might have lucked out. Oh, shocker. It's a Texas Tech player. In fact, most of the board was Texas Tech guys. To see, I'm only barely. Jack Anderson is gone, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. So next on the Texas Tech board is T.J. Vasher. So he lucked out.
Yeah, Vasher is a dude that, man, I was completely in love like his freshman year, and I thought he was going to make a charge to be one of those dudes that was going to be a top receiver in a couple of years, and it just never fully got put together, which is, I don't know. He's got that talent, though. There's a little bit of Odell to his game.
Well, he's got really good body control, and he's got good hands. He doesn't have maybe great anything else, which is okay sometimes. But, yeah, he needs to work on essentially everything else. He looks like a guy who hasn't really worked hard in the weight room, and maybe he just has that build. Like some guys just don't put on a lot of muscle no matter what. But he's not a super freaky athlete, but he has really good body control, really great hands, and there's a place for guys like that if he really wants it.
I think he's a player that if you just watch his highlight clips, that you'd be in love with him. And for a quarterback who has accuracy problems, he's another one of those catching erasers. I mean, bad pass erasers.
Yes.
You know who was like that a few years ago? I thought he was going to make a huge impact in the NFL, and he just hadn't. He went to Buffalo. The kid that almost jumped out the window or whatever, that did the crazy Michael Jackson maneuver, you know what I'm talking about? Blew up the Senior Bowl a few years ago.
Which is why I do not overrate the Senior Bowl like some people do. But yeah. I mean,
gosh, I don't know why I'm trying to.
Because remember people but I don't know who you're talking about yet, but I remember when people were all excited about Braxton Miller because of what he did.
Zay Jones. Zay Jones. That's who it was.
Oh, Zay Jones. Now,
yeah.
That's the levitation thing. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, Zay Jones, I think, at least had really good athletic testing to go with everything else. The thing with Vasher is he's not a particularly athletic kid. I mean, he has really good body control, but he's just not like a guy who's going to run past people. He's not physically strong. So he'll really need to refine the technical parts of his game. Hopefully, Albie, because they have back-to-back picks and everybody else is gone, will give me another. Can somebody try to get a hold of him? Because I need another player from him, and he's out of players because he doesn't like to. I don't know why he keeps giving me such small lists. Or he's going to end up with whoever I give him if I don't get another player out of him. Okay, we have a minute here. Hopefully anybody got eyes on Albie? Anybody heard anything from Albie?
Not yet.
Okay, well, we need something to happen very, very quickly. He's about to get stuck with – what is he about to get stuck with? Let's see. So if nobody's heard anything from him, I'm just going to give him my next highest rated player. Yeah. So still nothing? All right, well, then that's it. He's getting wide receiver Jonathan Adams Jr.
What did you make of his game tape, Bill?
I'm a fan. All the things that were just said about TJ Vasher are true, and he's bigger, stronger, and faster.
Yeah.
He just didn't go to Texas Tech, so I guess Albie didn't really like him. But I'm a fan. If I got Jonathan Adams Jr. at this point in the draft, I'm hyping people. I'm lighting up cigars. I think he has the potential to be a starter.
You concerned about his? I mean, to me, he's a great 50-50 ball guy. Yep. and very good in the middle of, kind of catch and run. Yep. But I didn't see a lot of him really separating, getting open with route running. But I figured with that athleticism, you're thinking he has the upside.
I think that, and I think that even if he never becomes a guy who's like a separation, monster or whatever, a guy that's never more than just okay at getting separation, he could still have a pretty decent career because of the kind of player he is, because of the long arms, strong hands, broad shoulders, and tremendous concentration. So even when somebody's on him, I mean, who gets the ball from him? You see what I'm saying? Like he wins when the ball's there and somebody else is there. The other person doesn't get their hands on the ball. He does. But yeah, I think he will get better, especially once he, gets in an offense where, he's a guy, not the guy. I mean, he was, to my mind, like the best player on that team with some room to spare. And he wasn't like helping out with anything. It was, hey, we need you to make this play. And he did. When people said, hey, make this play, he did it. When a guy is asked to make plays and he consistently makes plays, that pushes you up. And he was the dude. It wasn't like we're going to go to somebody else here because of the matchup or whatever. No, if we have to make a play, if it's third and whatever, fourth and whatever it is, Jonathan Adams make a play. When a guy keeps coming through like that consistently for really 2 years, I mean, he was really good last year too. I just think this is fantastic value. I don't think he'll ever run routes like, like the top route runners. No, I don't think that's something he'll ever pick up to that extent. To where he's great, but can he be a good enough route runner to be an NFL starter? I think so. And that's the Jets.
All right, that one's me. And, we talk about getting value here. This is a dude that's been skyrocketing up the boards. And I am floored that he's still there. It's easily the best value, I think, available left. And I'm going to take for the Jets, who, again, need help for Fields, who I gave him. Going to give him Josh Palmer.
Wait, you said Josh Ball?
Josh Palmer.
Oh, Palmer. Okay.
Two wide receivers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, he's there. Yeah, sorry.
And I searched through every round just to make sure he was still available.
No, he's very much available. You're correct. A lot of the things that we just said about Jonathan Adams are also kind of true about Josh Palmer. So they're very similar players, only Adams is faster, but they're otherwise very similar. And once again, I think more people saw Josh Palmer because, played in the SEC. But yeah, another guy who I think has maybe starter potential down the line.
Yeah, I mean, and it could be one of those things where it just doesn't click at the end of the day. But this is the type of dude that can take being a day 3 pick and turning it into absolutely getting a starting job.
Okay, and that puts Dallas back on the clock.
By the way, I thought that last year Tennessee had 3 really great wide receivers, and they threw it to the worst of them over and over again. And you see Marcus Callaway go. He looked great at the NLPA game, practices, and in the game. And he went to New Orleans, and I think carved out a little niche for himself, got some playing time. And I feel that way about Josh Palmer as well. So I just, their quarterback play and offense there has never been a really good system to use to evaluate people. I think Josh Palmer is. People ask me, like, okay, the Pittsburgh Steelers always find these guys out of nowhere and they turn them into stars. Josh Palmer would be a guy that I'd look at and say he kind of fits their mold of what they like. Go to.
I think either of the last two. If either of those guys ended up in Pittsburgh, I mean, obviously the late, great Daryl Drake isn't there anymore, but they still know how to coach up wide receivers. Dallas, you're on the clock.
Awesome.
Did we lose Jaron? Oh, there's Jaron. Okay, yeah, he's there.
Can you hear me? Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Dallas will be taking a linebacker from Concordia, Chris Garrett.
Yes, so Will Masiak and Chris Carroll love that pick. I mean, yes. First of all, thank you for even knowing he exists. I think he was also on the list of players that I bought. Once again, I apologize to Jim Nagy at the Senior Bowl, but he was on my list of small school guys. I had about 4 or so that I bothered him incessantly about, and that was one of them. I think Chris Garrett has potential to be a really good, DPR, Disney and pass rusher, and in some systems might even develop into maybe a 3-4 outside linebacker. But yeah, I'm a fan. Since Will is also a fan, I'll ask him to chime in a little bit on Mr. Garrett.
Oh, nothing. I just think you have for small school edge players, it's hard it can be hard to see them, against their level of competition and get a feel for it. But I just feel like at this point in the draft, he's a guy that it's a great fun to watch on tape. Makes a lot of plays, has tools in the box. So I mean, I'm using all the cliches in the world. A player like this. No, I mean, I just feel like it's a fun watch, and those kinds of guys I think are great linebackers, edge guys to pick late because they're good for you in special teams. They'll give you a lot of effort, and if they come in as a sort of relief package, you're going to get some spark to your team.
Yep. And I do have the Bears pick from Montel. It is wide receiver Cade Johnson from South Dakota State University. Somebody was saying, do I think someone can ever develop into enough of a route runner to get separation, etc.? Well, here's a guy that will develop it. If he isn't already, will develop into a guy who will be a good enough route runner to get separation consistently. He may spend most of his time in the slot, but Cade Johnson has some stuff. So the Bears get a good player there at the end of the round. And, gentlemen, we are pounding down the home stretch. We are now in the 7th round with the Saints on the clock.
I'll message Hales real quick.
And I should probably start getting on Albie now.
Yeah, I DM'd Hales real quick.
Okay. Hopefully, we will be getting a response soon. Since I would really like to be cooking with gas here.
Newman's gone, right?
Oh, Jamie Newman, yes.
I don't think Newman's gone, actually. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah.
I'm almost sure somebody picked
No, he's
it just
available.
since I've been on.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is?
because we were discussing
Baiting.
Newman versus Sherwood for the Bucks, and nobody took Newman after. So, yeah, I think Jamie Newman's available.
Yeah, so the Saints take Jamie Newman.
Oh, all right then.
That's a nice
Round
spot for
7.
him.
That's crazy.
No, well, yeah. I think it's really good value. I would say that much. I don't think he makes it out of the 5th, probably in the real world, but could he slide? Sure. You're talking about a guy that had, once again, 16 starts at Wake Forest and had people like Buzz and all that good stuff. Doesn't play, obviously, when he gets to Georgia, and has a good Senior Bowl week, but not, setting the world on fire, but a good week. He's a big time projection, but there's things to like. The guy he reminds me most of. Does anybody remember Chris Leak's big brother, CJ? Or just me? I'm the only one that remembers.
I don't remember Chris Leak.
Well, okay. So Chris Leak's big brother was a much bigger guy. Like Chris was kind of a small guy, but CJ was like 6'3", 6'2.5", 227, and could really run. And even some teams worked him out at other positions, which I thought that was a mistake. But he bounced around the league for a couple of years. I think he might have been spent a year or two in Canada. And once again, one of those guys was probably born a few years too soon. I think things would have worked out differently for CJ if he'd come along now. But I see a lot of that when I look at Jamie Newman. And so you have to say, I'm willing to, deal with this very raw player. And if you are, you might get something good.
He's like the quarterback equivalent of a size, weight, speed project.
Yeah, right. He's a height, weight, speed quarterback. That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, I just don't personally have him that. I don't have him graded that much differently than your Trasks and your Kellen Monds and Davis Mills. That's just me personally because it's more about the projection of him versus kind of Trask is what Trask is.
Yes.
If it was 10 years ago, he would go a lot higher. Mills, you obviously have the injury concerns.
Right. He's another giant projection, but for slightly different reasons.
Yeah. And then Mond is kind of like, I've seen people that are like, this guy is, a first rounder all the way to this guy is undrafted. He's got the widest range of any of the quarterbacks. So like the value of Jamie Newman is, to me, absolutely much better than those other guys that are in between that QB 6 to 9,
But you just made a good case why those other guys shouldn't be drafted until rounds 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. I think that's legit. I don't think a lot of them should really. I think there's 5 quarterbacks that should go in the first 2 rounds, and that's it.
Yeah, right. I agree that people who are trying to push some of the other quarterbacks up, some of it is, let's be honest, it's literally stuff that comes from their agents. Let's be honest.
Of course.
Now, a lot of stuff you hear, so-and-so teams really like blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, that's anything you hear from late January onward, about 50% of it between, post Senior Bowl to into the combine, 50% of it's total hogwash. Once you get past the combine, 75 to 90% is total hogwash. By this point, it's all hogwash. Nothing you hear is true from this point until the draft actually happens. Just save yourself some trouble and just believe nothing.
Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in the
The 49ers pick is in. Let me just double check. Is Derek Forrest still? Yeah, he is, isn't he? Derek Forrest still available? I believe he is.
You can go.
Let me double check.
Skid, you can go. Want to go?
Derek Forrest. Where am I? What am I doing? Where am I? What am I doing? Yeah, here we go. I think he is. I'll double check. Just to be certain. Check one more time, but I'm pretty sure he is. And so that's really good value. Yep, he is. He is the pick then. So Forrest is a player that I ran into during my love fest with another. Actually, there's a couple of guys on Cincinnati's defense that I was a huge fan of. And since people might still have some of these guys, hopefully you can follow them, I won't say who these other guys were, but my gosh, that was a really good defense. I found a bunch of guys in that defense that I liked. Oh, my gosh. And then that brings us to the Dolphins.
All right. Dolphins will be taking a tight end out of TCU, Pro Wells.
And we might have – no, we'll probably get one more, but another member of our all-name team, joining people that we already had named. That's a – I mean, clearly his parents knew something was up. But, yes, here we go. Pro Wells. University. And that's the Titans, so back to the board for them.
Usually you ask this about the prospect, but do you think the team, the Miami Dolphins, are pro ready?
No.
Or are they pro? Maybe they're pro. Okay. I'll just be
I mean, after this draft, maybe.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
See, well, this draft we got him Jamar Chase, Jalen Phillips, Samuel Cosme, Kenneth Gainwell, Levi Onwuzurike, Pro Wells, and Trey Hill.
That's a pretty good day at the office right there. You're just right.
It just about guarantee they won't have a draft that good. You know?
Yeah.
No, they
That's the way
won't.
these things go.
Yeah.
That's why the Miamis and Bengals of the world stay who they are. Jets.
Okay. Anything from Albie yet? No, maybe? Let me see. Come on, Albie.
They're not pick my players. I have my player locked in right now.
I find that's the danger of Bill picking players for somebody is that he picks good players.
That is a problem. Anyone get any responses from Albie?
Nope.
Okay, well, to the board it is. You get what you get, Albie. Okay. Oh, before I forget, Tennessee, the Titans. Let's see. Yeah, the Titans got safety DeMar Hamilton from Pittsburgh. Sorry, I forgot to announce that one. And now we're gonna get I guess we're also getting a board pick now for Albie. He's getting. Is Brendan James from Nebraska still? I think he is, isn't he?
Yep.
Yep.
I like me from Brendan James.
Yeah, tell me what you like about him. He's flashed at times for me, but I worry a little bit. But tell me what you like.
I mean, not the guy in Nebraska. My only problem with him is his pass protections were But if you want somebody who can run block, he can run block.
Okay. Hard to argue with that. And of course, it's back-to-back Albie picks. I'm gonna ask, but I'll ask just to be sure. Anybody heard anything? Maybe for this pick? No, maybe. Okay.
What pick are we at, Bill?
We're at pick. Sorry, this is 2:34. So he's got another minute on the clock, but he's about to get a board pick if I don't hear from him in the next 49 seconds. He's got till I finish typing it in to get a pick in. Looks like that's not going to happen. All right. Then the pick is becoming official. Jalen Moore, tackle/guard, guard/tackle, but how you see him from Western Michigan. Hey, it happened. Bengals on the clock. Let me see. Let me check. Oh, he got. Wait, did he pick one? He did. Took him. Hales who drafted Ian Book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Las Vegas.
Oh, right. That's what it was. Thank you. And it was somebody at that.
I don't
Andy.
know why he drafted him, but okay.
Andy,
What's that?
I found you on Messenger. I'm gonna send you somebody I found. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I mean, at 121, why not take a flyer on a quarterback?
I'd rather have somebody else. At 121, I think Ian Book at 200.
Yeah, but it's the Raiders pick, so I didn't really care as much.
Oh.
Uh,
And it is the Raiders, too. You know the Raiders.
neither does Mike Mayock.
I know.
Oh, Mayock might take a look at, 18, 17?
Okay, I think we finally found a player on their board who's not been taken. Yep. Okay. So the pick is in. It is center Michael Minnett from Penn State University.
Hey, Mark, my number's in the chat. Just use that and text me.
Oh, okay.
That'll work. So I put it in the private chat.
Yeah, you look like you're pretty guarded with your face. I can't even find a place to friend you on it. It's like,
I don't. Yeah, I don't even use
you don't even
use it really that much.
No, I'm the same way.
I separate the private life from the
Yes.
Exactly.
from everything else.
Let's see. The Bills GM is not here, right? I don't think so. I think I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right. The Bills GM isn't here. Okay. So that's a board pick, I think. As well, which is fine. And that player will be... who will it be? No, wait, am I looking at the right thing? Wait, hold on. What am I looking at? Oh, no, I take it back. That's Denver. Denver is here. That's you. Wait, no, Hater, you did.
I am here.
No. I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's me looking the wrong way. It's going that way. Okay, never mind. That is the Bills. And then you're after that. So you are on deck, Hater.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
We were expecting a locked and loaded pick with the next pick, Hater.
Hopefully, if I don't get sniped here.
Okay, I just need to confirm that this player is available, and you will be able. I'll be making the pick, so I've confirmed that. So this. He is available. So it is guard Royce Newman from
Mississippi.
Yep.
Old Miss, as they like to say.
Old Miss, as they like to say, yes.
Why do they say Old Miss?
This is a very good question, and it troubles me that everyone refers to them as Old Miss.
My understanding is it goes back to the early days of the rivalry between Mississippi and Mississippi State, and there are what's the word? There's a mini controversy over exactly how it got started, actually. Who started it and why? But apparently it was part of that thing, like with the V Ohio State thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
sort of trying to differentiate and elevate themselves above their inferior Cal College cousins. So that pick is in, and it is all you, Hater.
All right, we're going to Thompson.
Nice.
Safety.
Nice. I'm a big fan of his.
I mean, that was the safety I was talking about yesterday.
Well, tell the people a little bit about Tariq Thompson and how you think you would like to use him.
No. All right. I think he's a ball hawk. I thought, I'm a little bit biased because I watch San State a lot, but I thought he'd be a third-round pick. But,
yeah.
He's a ball hawk.
Yep.
He's a tackler. I see him at free safety.
Yep, I think he'd do that. He's super well coached. Like really all of the defensive backs at SDSU, they are extremely well coached. I feel like it's like 2 or 3 of those guys are going to be on rosters for multiple years in the NFL.
Right, and you look at Devontae Hayes.
Yep.
Who's with the Cowboys now.
Sure. Yeah.
He's a prime example of a ball hawk whenever he gets his hands on the ball.
Yep. And they had a kid right before Barry, right? Didn't Nat Barry come from there too?
Yeah, I want to say he did.
Okay. Dallas, you are on the clock.
All right. So Dallas is going to take a guy who I saw while watching Jarrett Patterson.
I know who this is.
4-year starter at left tackle and right tackle. Probably going to be playing guard in the NFL if he plays.
Right.
I'm a lot higher on him than a lot of people, I think. Coyote
Awasika.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan too.
Consider taking it with my last pick. I have a group of these sort of, tackle guys who might be going to try them at tackle, and maybe they stick kind of players left for me. So that enabled me to wait a little bit, but I really like his game. Occasionally gets into that sort of reaching thing, which will get a lot of tall guys into trouble. But really, really good player, solid starter for them.
I agree. And now you're back on the clock, Hater.
Oh man, now I'm not ready.
Okay, well, I guess we'll continue to stall. And while you're doing that, I will take one last shot at trying to get Albie.
And with that pick, Dallas's draft is done. Vegas's draft is done.
Yep.
A little bit more to go.
We're getting there.
Hold on here.
If anybody's interested in trading up to pick 245 for 2 picks, I'm into it. No, I was kidding. I did that once in a mock. I think somebody had the last 2 picks of the draft, and I had 250 or 240 or something, and I traded it out for the 2 picks. How can that possibly be a bad deal? You get two lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Instead of 1. Bill, what teams are you drafting for this year?
Well, I mean, nobody really officially. I'm just filling in.
So you don't have your own teams for sure, for real, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just filling in board picks, and then every once in a while, if somebody's really stuck and they don't know too many players, they'll just say, "Well, whoever you think is best," that kind of thing. Because people have various levels of comfort with the latter part of the draft.
Yeah, well, having run drafts like this for a long time, I'm always the guy who's the God. I just got in my car to go visit my sick mother, and I really need a cornerback. Like whatever you think.
Yeah, yep, that happens around this point.
Sure.
Okay, so Hader, any?
I'm open. All right. What is here? Net taken. Is Dad Newsom still on the board?
Yes, sir. I was wondering when somebody would finally take that.
Well, that's a steal. I'm taking him.
That's excellent value. Even if he never becomes a full-time starter, this is still a guy who's going to be in your top 4 or 5 receivers. Unless you've got, I don't know, Kansas City or somebody. Unless you have like an elite receiving group, he's going to be able to contribute. Okay.
They have Cortland Sutton, and we don't know how Cortland Sutton's going to come back this year. So
True.
Bill, these wide receivers that are available here in 6, 7, even as free agents in this draft class, 10 years ago, where do you think they had gone in the draft?
It's funny. Here's the things that I could when I think about how this draft would look. A bunch of these quarterbacks would have gone later in previous years, particularly the guys that didn't have a lot of starts. The NFL used to be very scared of guys with low start totals, and I guess they've gotten a little less nervous about it than they used to be. So a lot of those guys would have been, if they went the first at all, would have been late first, as opposed to guys that might go early first. Those guys with 16, 17 starts would not have been guys going high in the old days. I think that obviously the running backs would go earlier. Back when they cared more about blocking at tight end, some of the tight ends would go later and some of the tight ends would go earlier. But people prioritize blocking more. Oh, Albie said he's been on newborn baby duty. Okay, that's what's going on. Yes, no one likes newborn baby duty, if you know what I'm saying. Let's see. So it's going to be basically up to me to find him.
I mean, just to sort of answer my own question, I just feel like the depth of the wide receiver class this year, next year, it just feels like if these were the only guys available 10 years ago, they would have been viewed as still a really great wide receiver class. And probably
I agree. If you just took the receivers that are going to go after the top 100, a lot of those guys were guys that would have gone second round, first in some cases, doing what they're so Albie is getting the other Cincinnati safety that I love, James Wiggins.
Oh my, I love him.
was going to ask about that when his compadre got taken. Which one you viewed as being higher, but couldn't talk about it.
I like them both, but I think Wiggins can do a few more things. Wiggins can do some of that linebacker-ish stuff. He can do some deep middle things. He can do slotty things. Though I wouldn't leave him with some of the truly elite type slots. He can cover. I mean, I think he's very versatile. And then the thing that people like about Forrest probably is just his pure athletic ability. He's a really special athlete. This is Donovan.
The only problem with Wiggins is doesn't he have mental problems?
Did you say mental problems?
Medical.
Oh, medical. I'd have to. I mean, I know he had. Did he miss? I missed a handful of games with injury. I'd have to check to see if it was like a full on.
I think he tore his ACL.
I'd have to double check. If he tore his ACL, then yeah, that would explain why he's still available. Then.
Yeah, let me look.
I got a wild question for you guys because you were talking about the wide receivers. I'm starting to wonder if we're seeing, in some sense, wide receivers start to turn into running backs at some point where there's so many skilled wide receivers that are coming out and there's so many guys that you can get for fitting schemes and stuff like that. Are wide receivers in the future, except for the truly ones that like separate themselves from the pack, going to start to drop down boards more often now?
I think some of what you're saying is true. Obviously, guys who are seen as elite level playmakers. Oh, and the pick is in. It's Landon Young.
By the way, he tore his ACL in 2019, and then he had an arm injury.
Yeah.
In 2020.
Yeah, the arm injury wasn't particularly serious. Yeah, so the torn ACL was 2019. He came back, as far as I can tell, better. So I'm not too frightened, but I know what you're saying.
If I'm the Chargers, I'm not that.
I mean, to me, an injury problem is it's chronic, right? When a guy has a series of concussions, when a guy has a back injury, when a lot of guys tear an ACL, right? You know, like I'm not too worried as long as it's a clean tear, right? No, not a lot of stuff floating around inside the joint, no nerve damage. As long as that's the case, as long as a clean ACL tear, I'm not too worried about that. And if you're going to play safety, you're going to hurt your arm or your shoulder at some point. That's the job. That like you can't find a safety who's been playing safety for a while that hasn't had a shoulder or an arm injury, as long as it's not something that's chronic or serious. Now, if it's an arthritic bone on bone or something like that, yeah, I'm concerned. Oh, and yes, you are back on the clock, Hater, because that's pick 242 for you.
All right.
And then it's the Cardinals after that. So somebody could start loading.
Let's see here. Put him. How about Boyd? Is he still on the board?
He is still available. Yep.
All right, we'll do that.
Who was just taken?
Boyd from Arkansas.
Okay. All right. So then the Cardinals will be taking a disruptive defensive tackle from Memphis, O'Brien Goodson.
Oh, nicely done. Remember, does he spell his Y-A-N? His O'Brien?
Yeah, O apostrophe B-R-Y-A-N.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was going off my memory and wanted to confirm it. And Washington football team, you're on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the last part of this draft is drenched in hate. You're all over this thing in the last part of the draft, hater.
Not my 2 picks. My 2 picks are drenched in love.
Yes, indeed they are.
You know me. I'm always pleasant. Never a crossword to say to anyone.
But Darius Williams on the board now.
Rodarius is gone.
Gone. Brian Mills.
Brian Mills is available.
All right. Well, I love Brian Mills, so that's great.
Yeah, we're both fans. He's my number 2 HBCU DB.
Here's a guy on tape who he's not very fast, but he has good makeup speed.
Right.
That reminds me of a Fonte Samuel Sr.
Yeah, just not as sudden. He doesn't have that.
Oh no, he don't have no. It's like a poor man's Fonte Samuel.
Yes, right. A poor man's Fonte Samuel. But yeah, yes, there's some things to like there in Mr. Mills' game. And some people think he ends up playing over the slot, which I think, I think that might be where he finds his home. And once again, that is a valuable commodity nowadays. You need to have guys who can preferably do a little bit of everything.
You never have enough corners.
Yeah, exactly. You can never have enough corners. So I'll go NC. And yes, Will, you are on the clock.
It was a close call. The Steelers have a big need at offensive tackle. This class has a gazillion of them who I think can play, ranging from plug-and-play starters early in the draft to guys with huge potential to maybe be super at someday soon. Then other guys who project to starters or maybe shift to guard but still look like really good players. And a million of them will come off the board. I really have 3 guys left on my massive tackle list that I would have accepted, especially at this point in the draft. But lucky to draft here a player that is an oddity. He played in the spring season of FCS and still in the draft class, which a lot of people didn't think was possible. But he wasn't. I would say he did not have a great spring experience. His team ended up canceling their season mid-season for COVID issues. He also, much like Trey Lance, did not play to the standard he'd played in previous years, but I still like him. Also for the Steelers, it's like, Big Al never left. Drew Himmelman, the tackle, offensive tackle from Illinois State.
Yes, he is.
I watched him the first game I watched him play. I just thought this is Alejandro Villanueva's, 2.0. He's a much like Villanueva, converted, tight end, skill player. Has that same sort of movement style to his play. He's not lumbering in any way. He will have some problems because of his height. He's somewhere between 6'9" and 6'10", but manages to get low enough to play well. So anyway, that's the pick for the Steelers. Drew Himmelman from Illinois State.
Yeah, he is an interesting player to watch, and yeah, he is so tall. And yeah, that's the thing. You obviously, that's really everything. If he can figure out a way to not have guys get in under his pads, but his high school basketball tape. I'm assuming you watched his high school basketball highlights.
I have seen him play basketball. Yes, you know me, Bill. You know me too well.
I do know you too well. It really makes you feel like, oh yeah, this guy's a chance. I mean, though he's obviously put on, I don't know, probably 60 pounds or something since then, but he still has those movement skills. And you mentioned Villanueva. My comp for him was a more athletic version of Nate Solder. But yes, he's a good player.
Player with similar issues. I think maybe he's a little nastier in the run game than Solder was.
Oh, yeah, well, that's not saying a lot, but yes.
Low bar, yes.
I used to wonder if maybe under his breath while he was run blocking, if Nate Solder was saying, "Excuse me, pardon me."
Yeah, like Andrew Luck. He'd be like Andrew Luck during the play. Oh, I'm real sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yes. Guess what, Hater? You're back on the clock.
Oh my. Hornet. What about Tyler Jr. from Washington? Is he on the board?
Hold on. Tyler, what was the last name?
Tyler from Washington.
You said Pete. Oh, Keith. Keith Tyler. Yes. Keith Taylor, I think it actually.
Taylor. I said Tyler, huh?
But
Yeah,
yes.
it's Keith Taylor.
Taylor is fine.
Yes. Yes, he is available.
Well, that's a steal.
That's the player you'd like? Okay. Then he is all yours.
I like them big corners.
Yep.
I actually have a 6th round grade on him, so that's great.
And once again, it's another school that really does a good job of coaching defensive backs. They have and the Cardinals are back on the clock.
All right, with the Cardinals' last pick, they will be taking. Oh, where'd it go? They'll be taking a Texas Tech D lineman, Eli Howard.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll make Albie, wherever he is, wrestling with his infant, that'll make him happy. What did you like about him when you watched him?
Just, again, another disruptive defensive lineman and knows how to use his hands. And
Yep, those are important things. And once again, around here, this is, I think, he's a guy that might even make it to the undrafted free agency area, but I could see him going somewhere in the 7th. And once again, a lot of times guys are taking the 7th who have probably undrafted free agent grades, but teams just say, we don't feel like having to, take a chance or bid for him. We'll just take him, and then we know he's ours.
yeah.
Okay. That brings us to – we're getting places. It's happening. That brings us to pick number the Colts, 248.
Oh, is that that's Hales, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think somebody is in communication with him.
Yep, right here.
Okay. Since we're waiting, I'll talk about Eli Howard. Eli Howard's one of those guys where, once again, very poor man's, but I'll tell you who he kind of reminded me of, a very poor, an impoverished, a homeless, maybe even man's Justin Smith. And obviously he's played on the interior, but I could see him, if somebody ran a hybrid or an odd front, moving him out to 5 in certain situations. And he looked like he moved well enough to be able to handle that, to me. And anyone else want to stall while we're waiting for the return of Hales with his pick? He has about another 40 seconds.
Yeah, I think one of the things you mentioned on, once you get to, to me, it's almost like when you get to round 6 even. Round 6, round 7, maybe those should be the guys that you think you don't really have a shot at. maybe that are on opposite coasts or in a cold weather where you're a warm weather or warm weather where you're a cold weather, all of that. And you take the shot at drafting them because there's probably a lot of guys that you know that you've got the leg up on versus the other teams with certain like undrafted free agents, you know?
Yes. Well, let me check on Hales again. Hales? I mean, not Hales, but Jaron, you're in combination with Hales?
He's typing.
Oh, okay.
I can see the dots.
Okay, well, that's always a good sign.
Yay.
Or else he typed one character in there by mistake, and you're just sitting there thinking he typed something. I love that one.
I hate that.
We'll know which in a few seconds.
We all hate that hater. It's not just you.
Yeah. So
Yeah, come on, what is it? Say it.
Oh, sorry, I hit spacebar.
So either we'll have a name or we'll have a board pick in about another 10 seconds or so. Any news, Jaron?
No, still typing.
Oh boy.
Oh man, that's one long sentence.
Yeah, I'm leaning to that accidental typing.
Or maybe he's enclosing a scouting report with.
Oh, there you go.
We hope so.
He said,
Someone's
bet,
wrong
give me
with
2 seconds. Cardinals. I took. 1 second. You said 2 seconds. He's asking who the Cardinals took. Eli. Oh.
Okay. Well, while I fill this dead air with mindless prattle, let's see. Some of our surprise picks, and of course, people may be less surprised at this point. But there's some picks that have surprised me. Not so much that, oh my gosh, I can't believe so and so got taken, but it's the, oh my gosh, I can't believe so and so was still available at pick blah. I think Himmelman is a guy that has a chance to go around to a round and a half earlier just because of the love that usually you get if there's even a chance that you might become a starting left tackle.
Oh my God, that guy is a giant.
Pick is in.
Oh, the pick is in. Okay. And
Texas A&M defensive line, Bobby Brown III.
Unbelievable he was still there, right? Speaking of, that's what I was talking about. How is that possible? How is that?
That was going to be the Bucks pick. Yeah, that dude should be gone by end of round 4.
Oh, 3 rounds ago, yes. He should
Yeah.
have gone 3 rounds ago. I was about, no way. God, I'm mad.
Yeah, I was hoping he
prerogative
would
not to
slide.
take him sooner.
Man. Yeah. You just miss some of these guys, and then you go back and you're like, oh, yeah, let me key on that guy. And then all of a sudden something happens, you forget about him, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Like a round or 2 ago, I was going to go after that guy.
That happens all the time.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, you don't have a draft board up with all the names on little magnetic sheets that you take off as they get drafted in your house? Yeah.
Darren has a whiteboard.
Yeah, you get whiteboard.
Yep. Okay, Jacksonville, you are now on the clock. Oh, and it's you've gone full Belichick. You now have your animal familiar there with you.
They've been cycling in and out.
Okay, so the Jags pick is up at 249.
Is that Hills too, or is it someone else?
Ooh.
Anybody in communication? Anybody getting updates from the Jaguars?
Who is the Jags?
Who is it again? Hold on. Who was picking for the Jags? Yeah. My brain is now a fine mist. Let me think. Who was it? Who was it? Hold on. Well, apparently they're not here, whoever it was. And I can't remember. I guess I could find it if I looked hard enough, but I'm not willing to. So what I'm going to do is instead, they're about to get. Let me confirm.
Hey, don't step in that. No, don't step in that.
Let me confirm that that's correct.
Oops, sorry, guys.
No problem. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Dealing with a pure maniac. He's just. You've seen some semi-nudity, so I apologize for the toddler nudity that you had to endure.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's. I mean, this isn't quite that kind of sight, but that brings us to pick 249 is in, and once again, this is the reaping of great value. Jamar Jefferson, who's one of my favorite running backs in this draft.
Oh yeah,
is going to make his way down to sharing carries with another one of my guys who was a favorite guy of mine, James Robinson. That brings us to the Seahawks at pick 250. We are 9 picks away.
Yay.
All right, Seahawks getting ready to take who they were going to take in the first round if they had that pick.
You know, I knew that joke was coming. I expected it. I almost typed it out.
The common jokes that are going to happen is the Seahawks one, Gettleman trading back, and the Raiders having to fill a spot that they created. You know,
Yeah.
So those are the 3 running jokes that are going to happen draft day.
Yes, correct. Oh, and this is another good value. Buddy Johnson, Texas A&M.
2 Texas A&M players in a row.
Jamar Jefferson was sandwiched in between, but it was
Yeah,
good.
that's Oregon State. Right?
Yep.
And that brings us to Champa Bay.
Yes.
I really like you guys. But yes, that brings us to the Buccaneers pick.
All right, so
Actually, on the spreadsheet, it's Tamba Bay, like Tamba Hali. So maybe he's
Tamba
going.
Bay.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's okay. I'm just
Oh, it
teasing.
is.
Sorry.
It is.
yeah, you can go Tampa Bay, you can go Champa Bay, you could go Super Bowl champions, whatever you want to say. I don't care. Yeah, all right. So this is a conjunction with Mark. He wanted a particular position. This guy is a great value here. I don't really know what happened this year, but he would have been gone within the first couple days if he just didn't play this year. But his stock just plummeted. But the dude is a super smooth runner. We're going to look to move either Braid or O.J. Howard, and we're going to take a tight end, and we're going to bring in Noah Gray.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I like no way.
Let me just confirm these.
Like I said, I don't know what happened. Like, I didn't watch a crazy amount of him this year, but I knew going into the year, he was definitely one of the top, at least 5, but 3 to 5 tight ends in the class coming out. So I don't know what happened, but his
You know
stock
what happened?
plummeted.
This quarterback happened.
You might be right. Yeah. But he is very he's not really a blocker per se.
No.
But at the same time, the Bucs have Cameron Brate, who doesn't really block either. So
There you go.
you can move Cameron Brate for something and bring this dude in, and he's a smooth runner who can make contested catches, and that's good enough.
I got you. And yeah, there's a place for him in the NFL. He's gonna stick around. And even if he becomes essentially Cameron Brate, that's not so shabby.
Not at all.
We entered the wrong name in there for the pick.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't. I mean, I don't know. I actually typed in Noah Wells, so I don't know what just happened there. As I mentioned, I am the world's worst user of Excel. So let's see if it works.
To your credit, you have gotten a lot better within 36 hours.
Well, I am coachable, if nothing else.
Coachable is a code word, as you know.
Yeah. Apparently, it's not. Apparently, Christian Barmore is not. If you saw that report today.
Yes.
Coming from his agent. Third try build, Noah Gray.
Oh, I don't know what just happened. I literally typed Noah Gray. Why does this keep happening to me? Okay. I am.
You're stuck on Pro Wells, aren't you?
It's the other gentleman's brother, apparently.
The Wells family is deep at the tight end position.
And then their cousin Bonzi, he's out there doing his thing.
He actually could have played tight end, probably. He was a thickly built. Remember, he was a thickly built.
Oh, he was. He was thick.
For a basketball player. Oh, okay. This is a good place for him, actually. It is. I guess they're collecting running backs a little bit now in Los Angeles as Javian Hawkins joins the team.
They will need an extra seat on the airplane for his thigh muscles.
Yeah.
He's a fun player. He is a super fun player. I wouldn't mind him in Pittsburgh, actually. I really am a fan. And you are back on the clock, Hater.
Oh. No.
Hater, as the Pittsburgh Steelers drafter, I have a special request for you. Can you pick one of the two players that I'm considering at my pick so that I don't have to decide?
No.
A rare snipe me request.
All right, who am I picking?
If you live long enough, you'll see everything, I guess, is what that tells you.
Exactly. What does that mean?
Okay, you've got about another 45 seconds, Hater.
Oh. You know what? We'll go ahead and take Matt Sutton.
You said Matt. Okay, Matt, what was the last name?
Matt Sutton.
Oh, Max.
Punter.
Max Duffy. Gotcha. Punter, Max Duffy.
That really didn't help.
Yeah, I'm fine.
But I think that's our first specialist off the board.
I have a question. Why did you think Max Duffy was the best punter, the one worth drafting?
I think he has the best leg. I just watched a lot in cutting games, that's all.
Yeah, he has a very strong leg. I will say that much.
The first specialist went off the board in round 5.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Wait.
Matt Davidson.
Oh, thank you. Well
was
done. Well played. Nicely done, sir.
Who was it?
He was right. He corrected me in that dual threat. Zach Davidson, of course.
Oh yeah, there you go. No, there you go. Great punter. Why not?
Yes, right.
He can play quarterback too.
Yeah. So the Steelers, you have about another minute. to.
I have to pick in mind.
Okay.
I'm really tempted to take an athletic outlier. If you guys are into the height, weight, like the height adjusted speed as a method of adjusting receivers, the number 2 guy on the board for the entire draft class is still available at this late date. That shocks me. And even though for the Steelers, I don't really have that need. If I didn't have Chase Claypool, I would consider pulling the trigger on that deal. But since that's not happening, Billy, earlier you mentioned that someone selected your second favorite defensive back from HBCU.
Yep.
I'm going to select your first favorite. Would you like to introduce him for the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 250?
So he is a name in history. He is the grandson, actually, of Franklin McCain, who was one of the people behind the Winston-Salem sit-ins at the lunch counters. And he is Franklin Mac McCain III. He is a terrific football player. And this is absolute larceny. And I would probably turn cartwheels if the Steelers got him at 254.
Yeah, one thing I measure for defensive backs, particularly ones that you wonder if they can play in the middle of the field, either the slot or the alley kind of position, is how many times, you talk about ball hawks, hater that, get their hands on the football. To me, I just for informally measuring them, I take the tackles for a loss, the interceptions, passes defended, and fumbles forced. I figure those are ones that, especially when you're, you play good defense, not just in coverage, but you pick up those statistics. And the really good guys in the draft class have a ratio that is, hovers around 1 or maybe somewhere between 0.8 per the number of games that they played. Mac McCain's, I think, I've forgotten exactly. It's hard to get the exact numbers, but for that level of competition, but 1.2 or better of those per game. It was something like 50 something in 40 something games. And I just feel like that's such a disruptive player. A lot of pick sixes. When he gets his hands on the ball, it's danger for the opposing team. And I just feel like that's a guy you really need. He fits. I know the Steelers kind of auto picked or Bill selected for us Javon Holland, who's a player that could play some in the slot or in the alley. But I think he's probably better served to be that alley player rather than the slot player who would be your first defensive back coming in off the bench. And I think Mac Martin really fits that role.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about Mac McCain, and no, it's good. The only possible knock is he's had a little bit of an injury history, but which is probably why he's still available.
That's fine with you.
But he is a terrific football player, so I'm thrilled. And now the Saints are on the clock, and we are just 5 picks away.
That's the final pick for the Steelers, and I'm going to try to achieve some actually finishing something on Sunday other than the draft. So
you before you leave, once again, just tell people where they can find your work, your Twitter handle, and then you may enjoy the rest of your life.
Sure. On Twitter, I'm at Accidental Zen. And sometimes it says arguing with clouds as it's my adopted Native American name. I think it's appropriate. My site that I run is SteelerFury.com. Not Steelers, but SteelerFury.com. There's front page articles, including my annual B2B directional state team of undervalued and small school players, which I've already had Bill and I did a show on our podcast. We have a podcast, the longest running Steelers podcast in the world, the Steeler Fury Pittsburgh Steelers show. It's available any place you see podcasts and on YouTube and Facebook. And I don't know, I'm branded everywhere. I don't know if any of it works, but hopefully you get to see some. And please listen to the show I did with Bill about the small school and undervalued players, because I feel like he's a great guest to have for that. And I thought it was a super duper show. So that's how you find me. And thank you to all of you gentlemen for a fun time and a fun listen.
Thank you. And Jaron, you're still in contact with Hales because I think he has.
He's picking right now.
Oh, sweet. And then thank you once again. Okay, so we're down to the best saved for last. and we get to back out.
Down to the mid-league.
That's how you measure toughness. Who stays all the way? First in, last out, right?
Right. No, and that's how I measure guys with that.
Oh, I might need one more name for him. Nope. No, he still has players left. Good job, sir.
Oh, yeah, that's something my high school coach can attest to. He's actually the director of player personnel for U of O right now.
Really? Oh, really?
What?
His dad is was a D-line coach for the Chargers for a long time.
Wait,
who?
no, slow down. What's his father's name?
Don Johnson.
Oh my God! Really?
Yep, that was my high school coach.
I love Don Johnson.
Huh. Well, you should have a nice, smooth entry.
Know who was Don Johnson? No, Leslie O'Neal.
Yes.
Sean Merriman.
Yep.
All those guys.
Swear by him. Yes, correct. Huh.
Yeah, Don Johnson Jr. was my high school coach. He couldn't understand why I was doing marching band and football at the same time because I was a much better football player than I was a musician.
Well, you know who else? Hold on. Was it Yossi Umenyiora? Who was the other? There was another guy. It might have been Yossi Umenyiora who was trying to do both. No, it was.
No.
Hold on. No. It was. Oh my God. Who was it? He was a terrific player. I'm trying to remember who it was. But there was a guy who was. I keep thinking might have been a Florida guy. Let me think. I have to think about this. Also, hopefully, we're getting a pick from Hale.
Yeah, he's typing.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in high school, all the rest of the football team was doing like 2 days, 3 days, whatever. I was doing a 5-a-day type of deal with program. So I'd wake up, go to football practice.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I'd wake up, go to marching band practice from like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Football practice from about 8:30 to about 11. Back to band practice from 11:15 to about 2 p.m. Back to football from 2:15 to about 5 p.m. The marching band practice from 6 p.m. to about 9 to 10 p.m.
Yep.
Every single day, all summer.
Wow. All right, then. I remember that there was a guy who played at Texas, and he would put the hat on, and he played sax, I think, in their marching band. I don't think he was a walk-on. I don't think he was a great player, but I think he was a walk-on. But he would, he didn't have time to change, so he would throw the hat on, and, the hat, they all wear the cowboy hat, and then be in the marching band, and then take the hat off, wherever he put the saxophone, and then go back to the locker room. So, but I'm thinking it was a much better player, and he didn't play in college. He was just in high school, and then somebody talked him into, it'll come back to me. But he was concentrating on marching band at first, and then somebody talked him into football. Oh, man.
We got the pick.
Oh, excellent.
Adetokunbo Ogundeji, edge Notre Dame.
Okay. From Notre Dame, you said?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
A lot of Notre Dame guys in the draft.
A lot of Notre Dame guys, and some of these guys are, guys that might be rotational players. Obviously at this point in the draft, you're just drafting guys that you liked for whatever reason, even if they didn't do a lot in their collegiate career. This is
Stop. My hat. Oh, no, baby. All right. Who's next?
the Saints. It is.
Did we lose, Bill?
Packers, Browns. Yeah, Bill kind of
He's
looks like he
frozen.
froze. Yeah, he froze.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Bill.
Virginia.
Bill.
All right, home run, top of the ninth. I'm playing the show doing this.
I wonder
Oh,
if
no.
Bill knows he's frozen right now.
I wonder. Oh, something's happening.
Bill?
Hello?
Bill.
No. What are you watching?
So what?
What are you doing?
Eating a chicken and spinach pizza.
What? That sounds good. I actually have pizza in my fridge. Where is Bill?
Oh, and I got the show. I just haven't put it in my PlayStation yet.
You haven't played it yet?
No.
What is wrong with you? No! It's gone, dude.
Did he reply on Twitter?
No.
I think he's trying again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let me mute the other me. Okay. Should have. Okay, let's get the last few picks in. Oh, one moment. Okay. Well, that was exciting. Whose pick is this now?
I can't believe I waited that long to go a pick and put my guy.
There we go. Okay, I think that took care of that. Oh boy. Okay. We left off on pick number where were we? Pick what? Where were we?
We were on the Saints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, were we?
Yeah, they took the what's it called? Adetokunbo Ogundeji.
Oh yeah, the Notre Dame guy.
Yep. So next is Packers, Browns, Dolphins,
Okay.
Tampa Bay.
Okay. The Packers are getting Cole Van Lannon. Let me.
Is that the guy from Wisconsin? That's the guy from Wisconsin, right? Van Lannon.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Last year, you forget, like a third round pick.
Yes, there it is. Finally. Okay. Scrolling. Though the sheets are. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And the Browns will be a board pick. Give me a moment.
Yeah, when Don Johnson Jr. came to our school to be our coach, we were a perennial losing team. We were a terrible football team.
Really?
He was since 2004 was the last time my school won the state championship, and then since then it was just a crapshoot.
Huh.
We were my junior year was the first year that we had a winning season, which was 2013, 2012. Yeah, so he came in, tried to gave us our first winning season, but he just wasn't satisfied. He was used to going to the playoffs and actually doing some damage, and a lot of the guys on our team just didn't care.
Really? Well, that seems. I'm not sure. Not even. Huh.
Yeah.
They just weren't that into winning football games?
They just stopped caring. They got into programs in high school where the those like jumpstart programs where you can go to firefighter training and whatnot through our high school program.
Play school program.
Yeah, kind of. So a lot of our offensive linemen actually ended up doing that. So they'd stop showing up to practice and whatnot. And
I was actually in the firefighting program too. I was second in my class. And you know who beat me? A goddamn girl. Hey, no thanks to her. She's smart.
Okay. It look. Oh wait, hold on. I skipped over a whole. Wait, I went. That's what happened. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong part of their board. They had a whole bunch of players, but somebody finally took Bynum, right? Let me just double check that.
Which Bynum?
Cameron. Somebody finally took him, right?
I thought he went.
Yeah. Somebody did. I thought somebody did.
Yeah, he went in the 5th round.
Which, seems about right. Yeah, that. Well, actually, and he could have gone even sooner than that. But let me.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the pick will actually be. Oh, that's a good pick. Let me confirm that he is still there. He is still there. Okay, so the selection is cornerback Nate Hobbs, University of Illinois.
All right. With the Dolphins' last pick at 258, they will be taking a cornerback from Duke, Mark Gilbert.
Speaking of guys who tested out of this world, tremendous little athlete.
He's had some injury issues, but
yes,
before that, he was hyped all the way up.
Yeah, he's a good player. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Okay. Where is Tampa Bay's GM? Oh, there he is. So we just need the final pick.
Andy. There he is.
Oh, wait.
Right.
Yeah, somebody.
Sorry,
There he is.
this is a wild time around.
It's a wild time for
5 to 6.
anybody who's won a Super Bowl. I understand.
Yeah. I think I'm going to end it off. When you party, you hit the goose. So give me Wild Goose, the corner.
Rashad Wild Goose.
Rashad Wild Goose, I think.
The final member of our all-name team. So always good to have him.
The all-name team.
Just a solid corner.
Yes.
Great depth.
The last two guys were super athletic
play
corners.
special teams.
Yeah, Mark Gilbert and Rashad Wild Goose are both really, really athletic guys. And if my memory serves correctly, he spells his Rashad R-A-C-H-A-D.
I think it's R-E-C-H-A-D.
Yeah, I believe he spells it R-A-C-H-A-D.
I know it's a C-H-A-D. Yeah.
R-A-C-H-A-D.
Yep, that's what I remembered.
There it is.
We did it.
All right, guys, I got to go, but
I'm sure you do. So, gentlemen, I will look over the board to make sure that it didn't somehow get messed up, and then I will send you all out an Excel file, as well as we still have the link to it itself. I think everybody deserves one round of applause. It was very frustrating that just as I came to the end, I ran into some technical difficulties, which is weird because I was on not even my Wi-Fi laptop. I was on my laptop that was hardwired in to make sure I had no problems, and still whatever. But you always got to be ready, So if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Jaron, a pleasure. Hater, couldn't have done it without you. Literally, couldn't have done it without you. And everyone else, Will, Craig, Albie, sort of, Montel, Hales, Andy, Sean, and Donovan, even though Donovan was never physically here, and Montel was in and out. All of you, well done. So what's going to happen? I'm going to send you the file. I'm going to write an article, which will appear on Nuts and Bolts Sports, and something else will happen. Oh, and a panel of expert judges are going to look over this, and there'll be not quite so fabulous prizes, but something. Might be a certificate suitable for framing, might be a coupon, who knows? But you'll get something to the top three. The first three ranked mocks will get some small something. So once again, gentlemen, great work. Can't thank you enough for your time, your energy, your expertise. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Take care.
Bill.
Thank you all. And whoever fought their way through watching this, God bless you. Have a wonderful day and happy drafting. And we're only just a few days away from the real thing.
4 days. All right.